Hello, lacrosse friends. Welcome to the 2019 Baggataway Cup, the Canadian University Field Lacrosse Association Championships. We are underway immediately here. Trent in the white with green trim heading left to right on your screen, and Guelph wearing their black with the red and yellow trim. I'm Stephen Stamp, joined by Chris Maderi. Welcome to the games, and we're very excited to be covering this with you, as Brock will be the favorite coming into this tournament. Western, the three-time defending champs, but the first big play of the game made by Romanchuk, who gets the strip there. Curtis Romanchuk, number 27 for Trent, the long pole, and great job to get Trent the ball back. Chris, welcome to the games. You're a former McGill player, a face-off guy. You're familiar with the league, and that's right. How's it feel to be back here at the stadium?
Nostalgic, definitely exciting. Got a lot of strong players out here, and some seemingly adverse conditions should make for an exciting couple days of lacrosse.
We had some snow falling during the day as I was driving into town with Cameron Dunkerley, our media intern for Kufla here. The snow was blowing horizontally in the wind. It was looking a little crazy. I did not look forward to it for the players, but things have settled down. There is a dusting on the ground, as you can see. Trent going to their first full possession. They've got everyone out that they want to now, and they will set up the ball in the stick of Garrett Eddy, the veteran, who's back at midfield. He's played offense, he's played attack, he's played midfield. They're running him out to the mid now. Terrific dodger, gets it over to Cole McWilliams, the All-Canadians. Oh, sorry, that was Gus Salinas. Wow. Got you out there for an early shift. Tends to be more of a guy off the bench. He's driving to the net, looking for the first shot. He's going to toss it back up to Eddy. Tries to slip by his defender, hands it off there. So this is Eddy taking the pass.
Yeah, some good slides on defense there.
That shot just a little wide. I think Hayden Walsh may have got a bit of it, the All-Canadian goaltender, honorable mention for Guelph. And it'll be set up here with Cheeto Andrioli. He's officially listed as Cheeto. I knew him at first as Cheeto, but his name is Nick, but he's a Cheeto guy. He likes the Cheeto. That's what he's going with.
Spicy? Extra spicy, maybe?
I don't know. There's Nick Tchaikovsky, 5-time All-Canadian. He does everything for Trent. Hands the ball off there, and Cole Hanrahan will get it right back to him. There's a shot by Tchaikovsky. It's blocked and heads flying out. We're using orange balls. Decision made just before game time because the snow making it really difficult to see the white balls. I find it a little tricky even to see the orange ball, to be honest, at this point. There's McWilliams behind the net. Up to Salinas. Trent with a very measured multiple possession here.
Yeah, Guelph defense is playing really strong. Got a bit of laundry down in the field there now. Penalty to come.
Salinas will toss it down to McWilliams. He's heading for X. Looks like he might reverse. He does. Watched there by Jackson Moroz. And there's the first goal. They slip it in the middle. And just tucking it home is Cole Hanrahan.
Yeah, great feed from the wing onto the man on the crease there, and who is just sitting uncovered for an easy dunk goal.
Penalty wiped out, but Trent goes up 1-0, and they are looking to come in and have a strong Baggataway Cup. They were very competitive last year at the University of Toronto, played in the semifinals. They finished first in the East. First time a team other than McGill has done that in quite a while, and so we've got a player down here clearing a broken stick off the field.
Yeah, with these cooler temperatures, things tend to get brittle, both heads and sticks alike.
And hands.
Hands. Tempers too.
Curtis Conley's going to go grab the head of the stick, the part of the shaft with the head, so that Roger Nurse, the ref, can run it over to the bench because they want to get that head on another shaft and get that player's stick back the way he likes it.
Yeah, especially if you're used to playing with a certain head and your stick breaks. You don't want to go use your backup stick when you still have the one available that you're used to.
So they're back down at the dot. Jonah Beam taking the face-offs for Guelph with the long pole. Pulled it back, and the Gryphons look like they're going to come up with it. They do. Ooh. Oh, nice job to stay in bounds and make that pass. Huge collision there. And Romanchuk comes away with it. Nice little backhand flip
that was
pass.
A dangerous pass.
It's great if it works. Hanrahan, the goal scorer, passes off to McWilliams. There's Tchaikovsky heading low. He's an absolute beast. You can see they've got Paco Jones jewel on him. over there. I think they're going to try to be aware of who is covering Tchaikovsky. It's hard. You can't always get a long pole matchup on him as a midfielder.
Yeah.
They want to have a long pole on him, though. As I said, the 5-time All-Canadian. He's been an All-Canadian so long that his first 3 years as an All-Canadian was with Nipissing, the first of which, they were still in the West Division. That was before they'd even shifted divisions. His last 2 years, last year and this year, he's at Trent in Teachers College.
Okay.
So he has just continued his excellent, former leading scorer and MVP in the league. There's Salinas on the run. Nice shot, but it's grabbed by Walsh. He pounces on the rebound. Trent hit relatively hard by National Lacrosse League training camps. I believe Adam Peroni is not here. And, boy, it's hard when you're missing some of your players that aren't available because they're aspiring to higher things, of course. I know some teams are fortunate to have their players here that would be at NLL camps and or have the weekend off. And we were lucky to have Cameron Dunkerley, our social media intern, is here because he was in Saskatchewan last weekend for Rush Camp, and he goes next week to Vancouver. Some pressure by Guelph. Mike Berger on the forecheck, but he's the All-Canadian for attack and couldn't quite get the turnover. But he's got this weekend off, so he's able to be here with us. And I know Oliver Bolsterly from McGill has his first training camp with the San Diego Seals. The first weekend is this weekend, and they gave him permission. He talked to Patrick Merrill, the GM, and he said, "No, go ahead, do Baggataway Cup with your team." And
it's a nice gesture.
It is.
From them. Yeah, absolutely.
Especially for a rookie. I mean, he was just drafted this year. Good for him. I know McGill's thrilled to have him here. He's another All-Canadian.
Oh, yeah.
Trent slowing things down. Guelph spreading it out, coming well out to defend defensively, not just packing in. So be interesting to see how Trent attacks them here.
Yeah, Trent is playing a very kind of slow and controlled game, just waiting for the opening. And, and Guelph defense is just staying right with him, playing a nice kind of slow-paced game. I know that the Guelph coach mentioned that he was looking to try to get some transition goals, but they haven't had the opportunity for that just yet.
Yeah, I said, you're going to try and control plays. And no, go. Let's go. Tchaikovsky, backhand whip. Nice save by Walsh.
That was right on the doorstep. Really impressive save.
And Tchaikovsky going off the field, which won't happen a whole lot. I think one of the reasons Trent's slowing it down, Mark Farthing and the coaching staff, very smart minds, and they recognize they don't have a ton of players. You can see they've only got about 12 players on the bench. Not a massive depth for them, and I mentioned they are missing some guys, so you're going to see players having to step up into big roles, like Curtis Conley, the All-Canadian defenders, going for a run. Hands it off. Here's a chance. Down low. Great opportunity.
Wow.
Goal. Nice setup by Curtis Conley, and Guelph never recovered from Conley running that ball up the floor.
Textbook fast break. Trent's definitely been practicing that.
Yeah. So
that looked rehearsed.
I mean, as a defense, how do you deal with that when you've got the long pole coming up, and it seemed like wherever he went, you're going to wind up with a mismatch because they had to go to him. You can't just let him run in uncontested.
That's it. And some coaches prefer to tell the defense to let the LSM, the long stick midi, come in and shoot uncontested, because compared to an attackman, they probably have far less practice shooting on goal, and it's really coaches or defenders' preference there. Not a whole lot you can do when you're a man down in transition like that.
Romanchuk, we talked about his slightly risky pass earlier. Makes a cheeky little pass there back to his defender. Hands it off to Riley Campbell. And Campbell, they're excited to have him available because he was missing with an NLL camp 2 weekends ago, I believe, when they played McGill. Or it might have been last weekend for their playoff game. There's 2 weeks. As he was signed with the Rochester Nighthawks. I believe he is no longer with that team, so he is back here looking for Baggataway Cup. But and Conley's not even the LSM. Romanchuk's the LSM, and Conley is a close D, but he'll take off too. He plays a strong transition game in box. Oh, nice shot. Garrett Eddy on the run, shoots across the body and finds a low corner.
Wow. Quite a strong start from Trent here. I mean, less than 10 minutes have passed and they're already up by 4 goals.
Yeah. That's 3, isn't it?
3 goals.
Yeah, the scoreboard operators are quick. They got that one up in a hurry. So 3-0, Trent jumps up. And what a start for this team. They come in, I think they feel pretty confident. coming into the game. They had a solid season. Interesting in the East, the parity. We were talking with David Fennicky, the commissioner of Kufla, before the game, and he was saying, you got to love the parity in the East, right? And I said, yeah. I mean, all the games so close. You see McGill finished on top, beating Trent twice, but by once in overtime on a two-men short goal by the LSM Tanner Baldwin, and in overtime, and then the 2-goal game at Trent that was very close, and but McGill-Trent was close, and then you've got the third-place team is Nipissing. They beat Bishops 12-11 last weekend in the play-ins.
That's so
that's
tight.
so close. Queens very close to Trent in the playoffs. They were just a couple of goals down last week as well, and you just had the 5 teams in the playoffs because McGill as the host was already in the Baggataway, but
that's it.
Well, you could go further and see some competitive lacrosse.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, just even since I was playing when I was younger, the strength and depth of players has really, really grown in the Kufla. It's really nice to see.
Adam Kitchen, first time we're really noticing him. He was Trent's leading scorer this year. Had 19 goals, just one more than Tchaikovsky, but added 14 assists. And Kitchen, just silky smooth shot. Wait till you see number 55. Let it rip. Here's Gutch Salinas. Passes it off, leaves for McWilliams. And now Trent with a 3-0 lead. You can see they've already been methodical. I would imagine they will continue to do so. Here's Jaden Sample. And it's interesting because I'm seeing guys play for Trent that I haven't seen get a lot of field time through the season. And I think that, again, is some guys are away. They've got to be smart and play the game with who they've got, and just be smart about how they're deploying their athletes.
Absolutely. Absolutely, and it can be a dream come true for some of the second-string players to get an opportunity like this.
Oh, and you see young players getting a chance. As that shot goes a little bit high, Trent will set it up again as Kitchen goes and gets it. We were talking to Sam Kozakowski before the game, the Guelph coach, and reminiscing about the 2013-14 Guelph teams that were both third seeds and won the championship both years with terrific teams that came together as they got to the Baggataway Cup. And they're talking about some of those players and mentioning Brett Olbicus, who was a rookie then, freshman, and eventually became the outstanding graduating player when he finished at Guelph, and just a great two-way midfielder. And he, as we have our first time out of the game, 3:36 to go here in the first quarter. It's 3-0 Trent over McGill. I'm Stephen Stamp with Chris Maderi. And, Olbicus was just a dominant player, but as a rookie, he was just one of those guys working his way in and getting some playing time, and you could see things coming and other guys stepping into bigger roles. It's fun to see.
Absolutely.
So if you're Guelph, if you're Sam Kozakowski and the Guelph coaching staff, what are you preaching here in this timeout? Less than a quarter of the way into the game.
For my uneducated view as a coach, of little experience there, but I would probably try to keep the spirits up. It's still very, very early. A 3-0 lead at this point is not something impossible to overcome.
Yeah, it's not cataclysmic to be down 3-0 at this point, and I think you got to stick with the process. Guelph, I mean, they were saying they were confident. They had a game they felt they should have won against Brock earlier in the year. They lost by a goal, and felt like they had it. They were up towards the end, and I think they feel like even though they're a third seed that just squeaked by Toronto in the playoffs to get here, they feel like they can come and win this tournament, and it helps having done it. Now, these players weren't here because I'm trying to think if any of these guys were on the 14 team. Probably not.
I don't think so.
Probably not, unless they're in grad school. But which we have. We've got guys like AJ Maston's been playing for a while, went to Vermont, and now is at U of T doing his some graduate work and playing for Toronto. And you do have some guys. Nick Tchaikovsky in his 5th year with Teachers College, but the coaches remember, and they will have shared that with them, that, hey, we've done this before. We can come in as the third seed and win. Absolutely. Now they get into the offensive zone, and we'll see what Guelph does. They haven't had a whole lot of time to do this, so we'll see what they're able to set up.
Yeah, I think this is the first offensive possession for Guelph, at least settled.
Yeah, first time because they did get the ball in the offensive zone before, 2 seconds earlier.
Yeah, a goal here would be really crucial for them.
Mark Wilson's at the top. He's going to cut down. That's 95. And he'll go and get that ball over on the wing. Immediately up top, Mitch Ogilvie, the Peterborough native, bounces one just a little bit wide. of the goaltender, Dylan Monroe, between the pipes for Trent. Ogilvy, the honorable mention All-Canadian. He is an absolute gamer. Will run through a wall for you. Feels like sometimes he'd rather run through the wall than around it or over it. Any other option that might be available. I think he enjoys the contact. He's rugged and
it's an important part of the game. Lacrosse is a physical sport, and if you don't like a certain amount of violence, then I don't know if it's for you.
That shot goes wide. It'll be a Guelph repossession. And let's start off Liam McConnell. Up to Ogilvy. Ogilvy, who played for Australia at the World Indoor Lacrosse Championship in Mississauga this summer. Did a great job. He's got some relatives who are Australian.
Looks like Guelph is running a 3-1-2 here with one man on the crease.
Taking their time, and it's a fine line, right? When you haven't had possession, you want to hold on to the ball, give your D a break, get things set, make sure you get a good chance, but you don't want to be tentative. Wilson looking like he might load it up, but Romanchuk right up on him. Or sorry, that's Johnny Lynch getting up on him. 67-27. Ball's grabbed there. Mm-hmm. Some pressure on Ty King, and he's going to give it up. Guelph, nice job on the forecheck. And they've got a man down low. Here he comes, wide open. Oh, nice tuck home, the hard fake, and bounces it in. That's James Short ramming that ball in for Guelph's first goal.
Yeah, and that's the exact type of goal that Guelph's coach,
Sam Kozakowski.
Yeah, Sam Kozakowski was talking about those kind of broken situations in transition goals. When you think about all the opportunities like that you have in a game, it's really important as a team to be strong in transition because, I mean, how many ground balls are there in a game? If you get good at those as a team, then you're looking at 11, 12, 20 more scoring opportunities in a game.
We got somebody from the Trent sideline coming out to center field. I'm not sure if Trent's taking a timeout. That might be Farthing. I believe that's head coach Mark Farthing that's come out to have a chat with the officials. I think he's got a question. I'm wondering if he was trying to get a timeout when Ty King was under pressure.
Maybe.
And feeling like he'd had the call in and should have had the call, got the timeout called and would have kept possession.
Yeah, it might also be a word. There was this pretty serious hit. It looked like from behind there. Maybe the coach was voicing a little bit of concern for the players there.
Is it now? Okay, sorry. I'm looking at the time on the clock. Maybe we have reached quarter time. I didn't see an indication from the officials, but we must be at quarter time. Oh, maybe it is a timeout. You can see some McGill event staff out taping down the front edge of the crease on the Guelph goal. Mm-hmm. The orange tape, which is very fluorescent, very easy to see, which is great, but just that one stretch up top doesn't seem to be sticking down very well. I saw it in warm-up that it was coming up, and the rest seems to be holding pretty well, so they have zipped out there. First chance they got and taped that down with some more duct tape, some cross pieces. So
yeah, it kind of depends on the goalie too, because if he's dragging his feet or if he likes to stand in that place, then obviously the tape's not going to last, especially with all this snow in the field.
Yeah, it was happening in warm up though. That one spot was the one spot on the two creases that seemed to not stick that well. Okay, so that must have been a Trent timeout. 1:07 to play. It's 3-1 for the Excalibur over the Gryphons. I'm Stephen Stamp with Chris Mederi here at the 2019 Baggataway Cup. Pulled back, and Nick Tchaikovsky comes up with possession. Hey, we've got the clock running. We did decide on that at the AGM that we would, if the stadium clock is linked to the official time, we're going to keep it running and not do the stop with a couple of minutes left. So I love that, so everyone can see what's going on. We have 44 seconds to go in the first quarter. Trent looking to extend their lead, get back to being 3 ahead. Here's Cheeto Andrioli. Heading down to the corner, circling towards X. Trent clearly looking to set up for last shot as Andrioli's just standing down by the end line with 20 seconds to go. They're probably, the stall warning is on.
Keep it in call, yeah.
Yep. 12 seconds. Here he comes. Slide help comes. He is in some trouble. It's loose. Tchaikovsky came down to try and help out. And yeah, time's going to run out. And I think Nick Andrioli thought he had a little bit more time than he did before the help was there.
Yeah, great slide from the defense. Really, really just shut him down.
Really came quickly. We've got Matthew Sykes, one of the All-Canadian honorable mentions for Guelph on D, number 17, and I believe he might have come over. But anyway, we are at the first quarter. We're going to take a quick break. The score 3-1 for Trent over Guelph in the first game of the 2019 Baggataway Cup. We'll see you in a couple minutes. Welcome back to the Cross Friends to the 2019 Baggataway Cup. 3-1, Trent leads as we get underway for the second quarter. Trent in the white with the green, now heading right to left. Guelph, the number 3 seed from the west, in the black with the red and yellow numbers. Great pickup there by Jonah Beam to get possession for Guelph. They're going to try and draw within a single goal. Mike Berger will wait for the offense to get out. He did roll the ball up there, but even with the orange ball, it is a little tricky to pick up from up here. Comes across near side to McConnell. Or sorry, that's Noah Glass, number 11. Moves as they now circle around behind the net. Full circle of the offensive zone. So far, Guelph not really trying to get in, and now you can see a little motion towards the center. Don't love that shot.
That seemed forced a bit.
There's Romanchuk on the run. And it looked like he was faking one of his fancy passes. He does get it across to McWilliams, who will hand it off. And Jaden Sample will slow things down for Trent.
Yeah, Trent has really had control of the ball for nearly the whole game so far.
Tchaikovsky taking it now out on the wing. Up top to Garrett Eddy. Comes back to Eddy at the top. And he's most dangerous on the dodge. He loves to start wide and just head in. Now Tchaikovsky's going to do the same. Little pick from Eddy. Looked for the roll. Not there. Nice defense so far by Guelph. Good job to repel that attack. Tchaikovsky. Beam right out on him. You can see again they are emphasizing getting the long pole. I think Beam will see a lot of Nick Tchaikovsky in this game. That's who I'd probably want on him if I was Guelph. Recognizing that, I mean, you've got Adam Kitchen as well. It's just is very dangerous. McWilliams as well, but it just feels like Tchaikovsky's the guy who can really hurt you at any time with his ability to dodge, to pass, to shoot, to create his own shot. There's Andrioli, hands it back up top. Quick cycle, and the long pass to McWilliams behind the net. Andrioli, thinking about the spin, gets it, goes to the net, shoots. Nice save, Walsh, just gets enough. Oh, great scoop.
Fantastic
ball picked up,
ball.
Noah Glass. And then the calm play to throw it back to goalie Hayden Walsh.
Yeah, that was a really important stand for the Guelph defense there. Keeping the team morale up, preventing Trent from getting too much momentum.
Guelph getting some chance to move in, and they rip it. That one's just a little bit wide. I actually thought I saw the mesh move. I'm not sure if
I saw that too. I saw that too. It's very close.
Maybe just the air of the ball. Maybe the ball knocked up some snow that hit the mesh. I don't know. I definitely saw something happen.
Yeah.
But Guelph gets it back.
And it looks like they're just cycling the ball around the outside of the offensive zone here.
Yeah, as much as Sam Koskowski said, no, we're going to go. Let's go play. Definitely taking their time and probing a little bit. Now we'll see if they force a shot. We did see a force earlier. And there's the pass off instead. Well, Alley dodging the shot right in the middle.
Wow.
A nice pass into Berger, who just sat in the empty spot in the zone and accepted that pass and spun and dunked.
Yeah, Trent goalie Dylan Monroe can't be happy with his defense there. The pass came right onto his welcome mat, as they say.
Yeah, not a lot of chance for Monroe on that one. So Guelph draws back within a goal. And we talked about when they took that timeout relatively late in the first. Talk about just stay the course, trust the process. It's early, and just play your game. And so far, it looks to be working out pretty well for them. They've pulled within a goal as we near 5 minutes into the second.
Trent taking possession way back in their defensive zone off the faceoff here.
Yeah, Romanchuk got chased right down behind the net and handed it off to Monroe, and they're going to slowly move ahead. Jaden Sample with the ball. You see Guelph really taking away the long options and forcing Trent into a short passing game. And they have to go to Romanchuk, the LSM, who's lost the ball, goes and hustles to get it back. Gives it to Tchaikovsky and zips over to the bench to get somebody on. Trent had a couple of players subbing on at one point there. It looked a little confusing. Had one guy on each side of center going out, and both heading into the defensive zone. McWilliams spins, cuts inside. Great cut, but the save,
wow.
He may have missed that. Did Walsh get part of that?
A little bit, yeah.
Just enough. Slashing call coming. And Trent's going to have a man advantage. Tchaikovsky starting with behind the net. They love to work Kitchen, 55 at the top, the lefty, on the power play. He is such a strong shooter. We've got a stoppage.
Crease adjustment? Maybe a timeout?
Yeah, I mean, it's no timeout because they haven't gone over to they haven't gone and gathered. Looks like one of the officials is over on the sideline trying to check something with the CBO, I believe. Just find out exactly what was going on. He's going to go in and report.
Yeah, the clock had stopped, so this is some type of
yeah, you can see the refs gathering.
Deliberation going on.
Having a tough time doing notes. It's pretty chilly, and it's taking a little bit to get the pens going. I was just checking, as we've been seeing the number 25 for Guelph. He wasn't on the roster, but I checked, and Cameron Dunkerley actually found out for us. It's Mark Wilson. Listed as number 95, so if you're seeing a 95 on the on the roster, that is Mark Wilson wearing 25. We'll have Player of the Game awards after every game. We'll have an all-star team at the end of the tournament. Always looking for guys who could be candidates for that.
Absolutely.
He sent me a couple of MMSs. I can't download them. So. MMS? Send me like pictures or something.
It shouldn't be pictures, it should be text. But I will text you and tell you what's happening.
Okay.
I won't be able to hear what you're saying on the feed.
Right. Okay. All right, Trent on there, man up. Handed off to McWilliams. Little fake of a shot. Comes over to Kitchen. Watch them. Oh, there's a hard rip.
Wow.
I thought Andreoli might go back up to Kitchen, but he liked what he saw and just rips that one from a sharp angle. So 4-2, Trent with the man advantage goal by Chino Andreoli. Again, just saw an angle he liked and absolutely ripped that one home. So Beam and McLaughlin back to the faceoff dot. It's pulled out behind them, and they were tangled up, didn't really get after the ball, so it's all the wingers heading in. Conley fighting for it.
Yeah, I got to say the faceoffs have been very evenly matched so far. We haven't seen a single fast break. They've all been kind of these broken ground ball situations.
Yeah, the wingers really getting in hard. And that's another broken stick. Jonah Beam's long pole just snapped in half.
People come into play tonight.
Yeah, you can see just about a foot or so at the end of the stick. Right down, that's pretty close down to the end of the handle, which is interesting. There's still part of the earlier stick that broke still down on that sideline. They'll probably go clean those up a bit later. You don't want to have that stuff lying around, the broken shards of metal on the sideline.
Certainly not.
And it's interesting, actually, that James Short has gone over and picked that up, and now David Fennicky is going to help him. He's going to take it around. Oh, no, I thought he was just going to lay it down. I think Short's point was we want that over at the bench. Same thing, you want to get that head onto another shaft. Actually, Dave Fennicky, our commissioner, out there performing yeoman service. He's been up here, he's down below. I'm Stephen Stamp with Chris Mederi. Welcome once again to the 2019 Baggataway Cup. Garrett Eddy with the dodge from the outside. It's a little bit of a pick. That was quite a sell job by Cole Hanrahan on the brush as the golf player went by.
Like a basketball game.
Yeah, dropping to the turf. It takes some commitment to fall down when it's so snowy.
It's true. It's true. It's almost better off to just take the hit at this point.
Eddie inverts with Tchaikovsky and drives down low. Picked up nicely. Strong game so far from Noah Glass. Glass listed an attack, but if that's in fact him, number 11, he's been playing a lot of, I'd say, short stick D-midi and doing a fine job of it. McWilliams on his offside. Drives to the net. Twister, hard twister, finds the far corner. What a play by McWilliams. That's one reason why he is an All-Canadian. Great finish.
Yeah, I think it's about the time that Hayden Walsh might want to call in his defenders and have a little talk about what he thinks is going wrong, going right. Kind of reassess the situation because Trent seems to be gaining a bit of momentum here. Again, scores now 5-2 as we enter the end of the second quarter.
So McWilliams with the unassisted goal. What a finish. And Trent is back up to that 3-goal lead. We're in the final 5 minutes of the first half here. Games do go quickly. We changed this year at Kufla to stick with the World Lacrosse guidelines as they shortened from 80 minutes to 60. So quarters going from 20 to 15, and definitely gets things going.
Absolutely.
I'm a big fan. I like it. I was in Israel last year for the World Championships, and some of the games just felt very long. We had a lot of breaks because of the heat. There were some issues there, but
yeah, and especially for a team like Trent, who doesn't have the depth as much as some of the other teams. By the end of the tournament, if they make it to the championships, you're tired after 3 days of playing hard lacrosse.
Oh yeah, it's very impressive. Not a lot of teams have come from a third seed, and had to win the 3 games in the weekend. But as we mentioned, Guelph did it twice in 2013 and 2014 to win championships both years. They had players like Curtis Knight and Ryan Serville and Jordan Critch. Scott Johnston, I believe, was on one of those teams. They had some great talent. McWilliams, who switched lefty for a little bit just as a feint, but he is stripped. Ooh. Guelph on the run. They've got an edge in numbers. Oh, they're going to peel back out, though. Probably a wise decision by Jackson Mraz. I always like to see the poles go and push up. As a long pole myself, who had about 2 shots on net, or 2 shots in my career, I love seeing the poles get the goals.
Absolutely. And it can be really hard for the goalies to track because the change of plane is so much for a long pole shooting. I mean, it goes from 7 feet, and if it's a bounce shot, it bounces in front of you and then travels another 6 feet to the top of the net. It can be really hard for keepers.
So shot Monroe. Didn't look like he saw where the rebound went. I think he got a little bit of it. That one he's got in his stick. Pressure on him immediately. Throws the fake, and then nice footwork to make his man, Mark Wilson, fall down. Now Monroe's going to slow down a little bit. Guelph trying to apply some pressure, and the pass off to the near side. Here's Connor Laird. Laird's a great addition to this club. Been playing for a long time. Came to Trent, and they got him to come out and play. And the teams for the second game just finally, or one of the teams anyway, looks like the Western Mustangs making their way out of the tunnel at center field down towards their dressing room. Here's Nick Tchaikovsky driving to the net. Oh, he's going to go reverse whip with 4 guys all over him and still gets the shot off and draws a penalty. It's unbelievable the things Nick Tchaikovsky can do out there. He's just a horse, so strong. Plays for the New England Black Wolves, and as I mentioned earlier, is their teachers' college. And, he has been impressive for a number of years in this league. Another man advantage for Trent. They took advantage of their last one. It was Andrioli with the goal on that one. Here they're going to go over to Kitchen. He's got some space. Steps across the top. So it's a 1-minute slashing call to Jonah Beam. So not only are they shorthanded, they're missing one of their best defenders. Great chance for Trent. Oh, but that pass is maybe forced by Andrioli.
I think so.
Yeah. Trying to get it in.
Wishful thinking.
Yeah,
maybe.
Connect with Cole Hanrahan, who it bounced right by his feet. That's a tough pass to catch.
It's true. It's true. And feeding the crease like that, it's although we've seen a couple goals this game from that type of play, it's typically a pretty low percentage pass.
You got to make sure the guy's got space. I mean, the goal we saw with Mike Berger earlier, he clearly had the room.
Yeah.
So Guelph is taking a timeout as they get over center with 47 seconds to play. I was watching behind the play a bit there, and Hayden Walsh was fixing the crease. The same spot on the crease to our left as there was trouble with the crease to our right was coming up a bit. But we'll see if they get out. I would say at halftime they might go throw some extra tape on. I'm Stephen Stamp with Chris Maderi, and 5-2 Trent. Similar situation to where Guelph found themselves early on, where they're down 3-0 late-ish in the first. Then they battled back with a couple of goals, but Trent has really controlled a lot of the play in this game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they've looked calm and confident. Really just kind of textbook lacrosse playing.
Be
really
interesting
nice.
to see how Trent approaches the second half. If they, hang on to this lead, and how they approach. We said they haven't got a ton of subs. They don't have a hugely deep bench. Even when they've got everybody here, they tend to be a team that rides their top players quite a bit. They're not a team like a McGill or Western that has a lot of players that get lots of minutes. Some of the guys who are, the lesser known names are doing a good job so far for them. And but it'll be interesting to see whether they just keep going or if they kind of slow things down, try to take the air out of the ball a bit.
I think it would probably be to their advantage, Trent. That is to just keep slowing the ball down and just keep playing their game because they've looked really strong.
Guelph scores shorthanded in the final minute. Boy, Trent has been stung this year by late game shorthanded goals, or in this case, late half. Mark Wilson. What a finish.
Yeah, and that's definitely something that was just drawn up in the timeout. It worked perfectly.
You just see what's happening out there and how you can adjust, and they go and enact it. And boy.
Yeah. And that was maybe 17 seconds from the whistle blow to the goal.
Yeah, about that. Not long.
Quick work from
30
Guelph
seconds to go here in the first half. I'm Stephen Stamp with Chris Maderi. This is nearing the end of the first half of the first game of the 2019 Baggataway Cup here at Percival Molson Stadium in Montreal. We'll be here today for the quarters and tomorrow for the semis, and then Sunday there's an Alouettes playoff game. They didn't want to be at Olympic Stadium. They wanted to come here, so we're going to Concordia. It's exciting.
It is.
It's an adventure. Guelph gets it back on that shot, and they have stopped the clock for the last 30. So we're not going to know exactly how much time is going here. Just after I was so excited about them running the clock the whole way.
Yeah.
We have reached halftime. It is 5-3. Trent ahead of Guelph. Stay with us for more from the 2019 Baggataway Cup. And the second game, 8 p.m. Eastern, will feature the Western Mustangs and the Nipissing Lakers. All right, took me a second. I'm Stephen Stamp with Chris Maderi. We'll be back in a few minutes. All right, hope you didn't go anywhere because we were mistaken. That was a timeout. We thought that was the half. Everyone went over to the benches, and then they've run back out. They did put 10 minutes up and start counting it down. I could have sworn I heard the end of half call. Anyway, our mistake. Sorry about that. And here's a chance. Guelph trying to draw back in, and that's going to do it now. There we go. Now everyone's heading to the dressing rooms. We actually are at halftime of the first game of the 2019 Baggataway Cup, and it is still 5-3 Trent. I'm Stephen Stamp with Chris Maderi. We'll be back in 10 minutes. Welcome back, lacrosse friends, to the 2019 Baggataway Cup. I'm Stephen Stamp with Chris Maderi. We are ready to go with second half action. After that late first half goal, Guelph down by a couple of goals, Trent up 5-3. Big battle again, Chris. You talked about it, the battles for the face-offs. Just constant scrums. Every game.
Constant, and that's the scenario where you get a big check across your forearms when you're picking up the ground ball.
And it's cold. We've seen the stick snapping. That's how their arms are feeling when they're getting checked. And Curtis Conley, the All-Canadian D, again pushing the pace and tried to feed one across there. Almost got things rolling for Trent for an early goal-scoring chance, but Guelph recovered nicely and took away that opportunity.
And here we are, start of the second half, and in a pretty familiar situation. Trent just kind of cycling the ball around the outside of their offensive zone.
Way up top to Tchaikovsky. Close enough. He got close enough to center that one of the Guelph attack was coming down, thinking there might just be a chance for him to get a check on Tchaikovsky. They hand it off, and Andrioli fights through traffic, shoots, big save. Walsh has to reach up for the rebound. We have a player in the crease. Oh, Trent's going to get it. They're going to say it was a loose ball foul.
Wow. I do not know how he held onto the ball through that check.
Yeah, unbelievable. Just fought through it. Andrioli, resilient on the drive. Trent will go back up top to Tchaikovsky. They're obviously looking at this as a way they want to attack, is with Tchaikovsky coming from the top. He's got Jones' Jewel on him. Goes in, shoots a save by Walsh. That's a tough stop. Passes off to Beam. Jonah Beam on the run. Nobody coming to him, so he'll just keep going. Everyone covered up ahead. He's going to keep running. There's the open man. Great patient play by Beam.
Absolutely.
Gets ahead to Mark Wilson. Wilson has Mike Berger to his left down low. He's going to hang on to it for now.
Yeah, it looks like Guelph is just cycling their preferred offensive team on the field here. Taking their time setting up.
Yeah, just finishing up their D changes as well. Again, switching up the long poles a little bit. As Adam Cromer comes on, the Whippy native.
Ooh, someone took a shot. Sounded like maybe off the helmet.
Yeah, definitely a loud one. Guelph dodging from X. Ooh. James Short is flattened, but gets the pass off. It is loose, and Romanchuk comes up with it. Big collision there. Again, Guelph with the forecheck, but nice job by Trent and Romanchuk. What a game this kid is having. Oh, as I say that, he throws it away.
It's a good job stopping the fast break there. Ooh, big hit. Managed to hold on to it.
Oh, what a strip. Romanchuk getting it back. Boy, we're talking about how, players of the game will be selected at the end of the game, and we were talking at halftime, any candidates. I think Hayden Walsh has been great for Guelph between the pipes.
Absolutely.
And, Cole McWilliams is good for Trent. Dick Tchaikovsky. I think my guy is Curtis Romanchuk right now. 27 for Trent, the LSM.
Mm-hmm.
Pushing the pace. Made the one bad decision there that led to a poor pass and a turnover. Just went back and got the ball back and then ran it out of danger himself.
Yeah, it's hard to pick one player out of the crowd right now. Everyone seems to be really trying quite hard.
Very much a team approach. Andrioli's going to get it back there from Eddie. They'll go to Tchaikovsky. Garrett Eddy switches hands momentarily. Trying to get Noah Glass edging to the offside. And there's a rip. That is Garrett Eddy. Classic. On the run, ripping sidearm shot across the body.
Looks like it went in off hip on Guelph's keeper, Hayden Walsh there. Pretty hard shot to stop. That's like the farthest the goalie stick would have to travel.
Beam and McLaughlin back at the dot. Trent again with a 3-goal lead, 6-3 this time. We're 4.5 minutes into the second half. Curtis Conley fighting for that loose ball. He'll come up with it.
Yeah, we haven't seen a clean face-off yet the whole game.
Yeah, they got away from him. What's the call here? Procedure call against Trent, so Guelph's going to get it. It had gone out of play anyway, so Conley tried to scoop it up. But, yeah, I don't think it's even been close to having a ball picked up by the faceoff guy.
Oh, no. Not even close.
Wilson had Conley bursting out on him and just tosses over. You can see the veteran players, the guys who are, Mark Wilson with pressure coming, very calmly, knew how much time he had, just made the pass.
Mm-hmm.
Wilson gets it back. Now, I'm going to have to double check because we've been seeing 25 out there, and I checked. I saw 95 listed as Mark Wilson, so I asked someone to check, and we were told 25 is Mark Wilson, but there is a 95 as well, so I'm a little confused by that. We'll have to double check that. 4 Trent defenders converge, and somehow Mitchell Ogilvie still comes away with it. And then Mike Berger goes in to get that one. Oh, behind the back, what a shot. Beautiful goal, nice touch.
Very, very slick shot there. The Guelph sideline's just going crazy right now.
Oh, what a play. I mean, Mitch Ogilvie, I'll tell you, he is a defender in box for the Peterborough Lakers. Mm-hmm. Played a lot of offense for them this year because they were very short-handed. They had a lot of injuries. They had guys away with school and things. Mm-hmm. And he was running the power play for a while and did a really admirable job for a defender. But you can see part of it, the reason he's got the touch to make a play like that, the behind the back. And the Baggataway Cup is in the house, just off to our left. Kevin Kaplis, one of our assistant commissioners, carrying the trophy up the stairs. Almost dropped it, just about slipped just as we're watching him come up. He kind of slips and just about tumbled. So careful with that cup. Precious cargo there, Kevin. Guelph trying to get back and get another one. They're within 2 goals at 6-4. Berger has the ball. Back to Wilson, if that is indeed Mark Wilson. I have my doubts.
Yeah.
Guelph setting up, comes to Berger on the near side. Back up top to 25. Watch closely there by McLaughlin, the faceoff specialist. Berger trying to fight free. Big slide hit by Tchaikovsky. Tchaikovsky, I mean, obviously known for his offense, a former Kufla West scoring champion.
Yeah, I don't know if Guelph was fully set up for their attack there. It seemed like only the man dodging, if that is Bukowski, Williams. It didn't seem like he had any help coming from his wings. No one cut. No one came to give him a pick or anything.
Trent taking their time setting up. 7 minutes to go here in the third quarter. As Garrett Eddy, the last goal for the Excalibur, is just way off isolated, and this is so hard for a defender to take him one-on-one, and that's a great chance, but it just misses the net. Walsh may have got a tick on that one. And that's a terrifying feeling for a defender. Just know that 5 Trent players have gone to the far side to draw your 5 defensive helpers over with them. And Garrett Eddy, one of the great Dodgers in this league, is coming in at you one-on-one. And now they're just trying to keep it from even getting to him. That's Mitch Ogilvie playing the 2. Oh, and he's beaten us. Eddy passes it off, gets it back and rips. Tchaikovsky's already down by the end line to pick that one up.
Yeah, it's got to be pretty scary for the goalie, too, knowing that. I mean, it looks like maybe a triple digits speed shot.
Oh, he can rip it. He can rip it.
Coming at you in this weather, I mean, whew. Got to be tough
It's a
standing
heavy ball when it's this cold. It is chilly. It's a little below 0. Here they go again.
More of the same.
Oh, and Eddy, another goal. Just goes this time just inside the post. We've seen a couple of shots go right in there. One of their early goals as well, in almost the exact same spot in the net.
Yeah, it looked like a replay from just a few minutes ago.
And I mean, Mitch Ogilvie, I was just praising him. He's a very good player. He's gritty. He's tough. He's a great leader. He is nowhere near as quick as Garrett Eddy, though. And you can see he just couldn't stay with him. A little surprised because Guelph was letting their other guys all go off. You could see the slide help coming, but kind of got there just after Eddy took that shot. Mm-hmm. I would want to be given whoever, whether it's Mitch Ogilvie or somebody else, I'd want to be giving them some help when Eddy is isolating like that.
Yeah, maybe an early slide or something, because what they're doing now is just not working.
I remember a couple of years ago, Trent was playing at Brock at the Baggataway Cup, and Garrett Eddy was just kind of coming into his own as a Kufla player, and they were switching him up. They put him at midfield, and then they moved him up to attack some, and they just put him in different spots, and basically same thing, isolate, clear out, and let him just go one-on-one, just try and break by guys. Boy, it worked pretty well there. I felt like this year during the season, teams have kind of adjusted to Eddy and gotten a handle on what he does and kind of taken away a lot of what he was able to do, but boy, he has been absolutely dynamic and electric here tonight. There's Guts Salinas driving down low. Here's a drive to the net. Salinas will hand it off, avoids the crease. Cut to the middle. That pass didn't quite connect, and Cole Hanrahan took a big hit for his effort. Guelph comes away with it. Berger.
Got a penalty
coming.
Field.
What's the call?
I don't know yet. Looks like an offsides, maybe?
So Trent will go down a man. I thought for a second the call was against Guelph because the play was blown down while they had possession. I thought they would have allowed play to carry on while Guelph had possession of the ball. But Trent's got it, and Johnny Lynch running out of his own end. Nice job. Lynch is the All-Canadian short stick D-Midi, and he just did a nice job on the clear to get it out. They get it ahead of Tchaikovsky. Now we've got a penalty on Guelph.
Yeah, and you'd have to think that this plays into Trent's favor here. These kind of longer broken situation running with the running clock, with this seemingly unending 3-goal lead.
So it was a delay of game. The call against Trent was a delay of game. And now Guelph is an offside penalty, which is giving Trent a chance to try to extend this lead. I don't think they've gotten to 4 ahead at any point in the game. There's Andrioli. Thought about ducking inside. Nice job against him by Adam Cromer. And Guelph comes away with the ball. That's going to give them a chance to kill most of the rest of this penalty, if not all of it.
That was a tough reception from Wilson. He caught it with one hand, kind of over the shoulder like you'd see in the NFL from a pass.
Trent is fired up about the way they got that ball back.
That was an unfortunate pass that Trent the Tackman missed there. If he had caught it, he would have been right in on goal.
Just over a minute and a half to go here in the third quarter. Game 1 of the 2019 Baggataway Cup, which should be an exciting weekend of lacrosse. I think the big question everyone's got is, can anybody beat Guelph? Can anybody beat Brock? Guelph is trying to just stay alive here against Trent. They're down 7-4 with 1:18 to go. Brock has been dominant all season long, crushing Western by 7 and 8 goals in a couple of games, which is shocking. The Western, the 3-time defending champions, and really such a strong team for so many years. You expect those games between them. They're usually one goal, maybe 2 goals between Western and Brock. And we've had overtime championship games between them recently. Guts Salinas will sprint up into the offensive zone, take that pass, and throws a little fake, then just leaves the stick dangling for Noah Glass, and he'll strip it. Glass is having a strong game for Guelph, both ends of the field. He is zipping down into an attacking position. He wanted the ball. Boy, I thought he had a pretty good chance to get a shot off if they could have got it to him. But he's going to invert, head back up top, and slow things down. 30 seconds to go in the quarter. Tchaikovsky strips it, picks up the ball. We're into the final 30 seconds. Clock has stopped. Tchaikovsky might just go coast to coast here. There's a big hit by Beam. The pass across, penalty coming. Hanrahan tries to get the shot off. He kind of gets up into a defender's face. Yeah, I think Hanrahan's taken one, and that's just an undisciplined penalty.
Yeah, I'm sure they're saying some friendly things down there to each other.
Yeah.
Hey, you're playing great.
That was a really good effort. Boy, you hit me hard there. That's okay.
I love the way you're playing tonight.
Yeah.
Hope you had a nice drive.
Just undisciplined though by Cole Hanrahan. Guelph's taking a penalty. You're going to go to the man up, a chance to extend your lead late in the period. Somebody gets up and hits you. He just gets his hands up into the face. And that, in field lacrosse, you're just not going to get away with that.
No, you're not. And especially a lot of refs will call it by sound. When you hear that metal on helmet, the flag usually goes up right away.
So 5-on-5, a lot of space out there for Trent to try to operate in these final seconds of the third quarter.
Absolutely.
Nick Andrioli is just doing a lot of running before play is blown in. He's going to cut to open space and get the ball from Kitchen. Now he's going to try and dodge. A little swim move. Oh, Noah Glass staying with him. Strips it and gets the ball. Oh, it pops away from him, though, and then he's right on top of Kitchen. Kitchen's got some room, though. He'll rip it. Ooh. Nice save by Walsh just as the quarter ends. And we're going to go to the break with the score Trent 7, Guelph 4. I'm Steven Stamp with Chris Mederi. This is Baggataway Cup 2019. We'll be back in 2 minutes. All right, we're back, and Trent with possession as there was illegal procedure called on Guelph. So we have a clarification. Mark Wilson is wearing 25, and Matt Allen is wearing number 95. All right, so Allen normally number 24. We're in the 95. Which all could become fairly irrelevant for the rest of the weekend unless Guelph can mount quite a comeback here in the fourth quarter. Down 7-4, they've got to get 4 goals, match their output through 45 minutes in the final 15 if they're going to pull this one out.
They certainly have their work cut out for them.
we have seen them do some impressive things. Mitch Ogilvie, a very good goal. There's a shot saved by Walsh, who's been stellar for the Gryphons.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how many saves he has at the end of the game because it seems like
A lot.
it's like he's got to be 2 or 3 per Trent possession.
Yeah. And he's made foot saves. He's made tons of stick saves, obviously.
Yeah.
And just, so many times good quality shooting chances where he's just getting a little tick, just enough of the ball to knock it loose. I know Sam Kozakowski was a little befuddled that he wasn't named the All-Canadian goaltender for the West Division. The Laurier goaltender got it. Very good goalie. Tchaikovsky, sidearm rip, and there's nothing Walsh can do about that one. It'll be 8-4 Trent in the 5-on-5 goal.
Yeah, Tchaikovsky was able to dodge 2 defenders there.
Yeah, actually, we were back to regular strength. The 2 penalties at the end of the period had ended. But yeah, Tchaikovsky just drops the head of the stick and buries it.
Yeah, it just seemed like the initial defender was able to get Tchaikovsky to go down the alley, but then the slide didn't force him behind the net.
Well, Nick Tchaikovsky, I remember watching McGill at Trent a couple weeks ago, and there's a McGill fan who's yelling, as Tchaikovsky has the ball. And it was the kind of guy, he was pretty confident he knew a fair bit about what was going on. He's saying, get him, go get him. Oh, don't let him go by. Don't let him get past you. And I just said, that's actually really hard to do. I was like, he's the best player in the league, I think, overall. And, he's like, oh, no, he's good. He's good. And I was like, no, he's more than that. Like he is virtually unstoppable at times.
Yeah.
When he gets some momentum going, his feet are so good and he's so strong and such great control of the ball. You can't, as we've seen, you can't really just lodge it. Trent slowing things down a little bit with 12-11 to go here in the fourth quarter and an 8-4 lead. But good Salinas on the pick and roll.
Wow, great check there. Great check.
Yeah.
Really good lift from the defensive midi.
Yeah, Noah Glass.
Yeah, Noah Glass on the check.
What a game he's having.
Yeah, really strong.
I'll tell you, he'd be my other guy if I was voting, which I'm not sure if we are or not, the players of the game. We're part of the conversation. But, I think Hayden Walsh has been great. I think Noah Glass has been excellent. I like Jonah Beam, too, the way he's played. But Glass has been, I think, all over the field doing a great job for Guelph. And, as much as they're down, they've given up 8 goals. That's pretty good. Trent's had a lot of chances. I think Walsh has done a good job limiting them. And it's the offense that's really just not gotten untracked for Guelph.
I agree 100%. If your keeper keeps the goals to 8 or under, I think the responsibility comes to the offense at that point. Now
it's 8 with 11 minutes to go, so we'll see if they can keep Trent down.
Yeah.
There's a penalty coming after the collision, and the Trent player is down on the field.
Yeah, it looked like quite a big hit. It might be a cross check.
Connor Laird is slow to get up. He was the one who was knocked down, number 18 for Trent. But it is a Trent player that's gone to the box.
Helmet is off. I don't know if it came off during the collision or he just took it off to get some air. Either way, it's nice to see that he's walking off under his own power there.
Yeah, the knee's okay. Anytime a guy's had knee injury, he's still got the brace on. You always want to check for that. But
of course.
It looks all right. So Trent now down 2 men. Glorious chance as McWilliams takes a delay of game penalty.
Seen 2 of those this game.
Yeah.
I don't remember ever seeing that in my entire time playing
1 or
lacrosse.
2. I don't remember seeing 2 delay games.
I don't think I
not in field.
Ever heard of a single one? Yeah, in field. I don't know.
Matt Allen gets it across to Wilson. Berger to Wilson. Bobbles it, gets it back.
Guelph has got to score here.
Oh, the save by Dylan Monroe. The ball's popped loose and comes right back to Guelph. Ogilvie skips over. Backdoor attempt. Oh, wow. What a save, Dylan Monroe.
Wow.
Then the huge chop on the goaltender's arms. And Da Silva just puts his head down, runs in. to the Guelph forechecker and was absolutely stood up. I think De Silva thought he was just going to put his shoulder down and bash his way through, and he got nowhere. Here's Romanchuk.
It looked like a truck stick in the Madden games. Quite a hit.
Kind of in reverse, though.
Yeah, kind of in reverse.
He was trying to apply the hit with the ball, and he got stopped. Here's Ogilvy on De Silva, and De Silva's got to give that ball up.
Yeah. I don't think now is the time for those types of plays if you're a Trent player, especially two-man down. Just get the ball up the field.
Yeah. Jakowski with the ball into the offensive zone. Andrioli hands it off. Eddie's going to rip one. Stopped by Walsh. Oh. Garrett Eddy is feeling it tonight. Kitchen, sidearm shot, another save by Walsh. And he's going to dive after that, trying to get after it.
You love the effort from Walsh.
You do.
He's really
There's
giving
no
it
way
all
he was
out
getting there in time. He was not going to be the closest guy to the ball heading out, but heck of an effort.
Sometimes goalies will do that just to give their defense like a couple extra seconds to get set up. Because I believe the rule is, maybe you can clarify that the ref can't call the ball in play until the goalie's back in the crease.
I'm not sure, actually. It looked like play just pretty much kept rolling there, because I was just thinking, like, Trent's getting the ball, and Walsh was on his way to the net as play was blown in. So Trent slowing things down a little. 8.5 to go here in the fourth and final quarter, unless we were to go to extra time. Garrett Eddy standing at around the 45-yard line.
Just killing time right now.
Oh, yeah.
I think that, there's
Stall
the
comes
keep it in
on.
call, yeah. You know that's coming at this point.
I think Trent was actually just waiting till it was called before they
I think
went.
so.
Oh, runs through the check from Beam. Passes it down. McWilliams. Bounce
Wow.
shot. Scores.
Well, that's my vote for player of the game. That was an insane.
McWilliams or Eddy?
Eddie.
Yeah.
Eddie. That feed was insane.
That was gorgeous. And you know he's got the 2 goals on the run, shooting crossbody. They're racing up to cover him to stop that, and he just that subtle dish.
Yeah, and he has the composure and the vision to send it over to his attackman, who's just sitting nude on the other end of the crease. That brings the score to 9-4 with Trent in the lead. Just over 7 minutes left to play here in the fourth quarter. Face-off won by Trent.
Curtis Conley on the rush. He's helped set up a goal earlier. And he's going to hand this one off, and they'll slow things down a little bit. Connor Laird with the ball.
Yeah, familiar scenario at this point. Trent pulling the ball out, but loses it around the midline.
Looks like a face-off battle with all the guys in there, the way they've been contested all night.
It's true.
I'm Steven Stamp with Chris Maderi. This is the 2019 Baggataway Cup here at McGill University for today and tomorrow. Then we'll head over to Concordia on Sunday. You can check out the final game on our either here in the or in Concordia at the stadium or on the live stream via the McGill University Athletics Stretch Internet portal, and then you can go watch the CFL game. Nice doubleheader.
Oh yeah,
for Montreal.
Alouettes. Coming up after this game at 8 p.m. Eastern, Western and Nipissing. Should be a good battle. The number 2 seed in the West and 3-time defending champion Mustangs. And there's a rip. I talked about it earlier. We had to wait a while, but Adam Kitchen shows off that silky smooth delivery. Top shelf, right where Mama keeps the cookies. You'll love to see it. That was a great shot. I don't know if Walsh had much of a chance there. That was maybe from what, less than 10 yards away?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't far. He just got some open space. He is so dangerous when he has time to get his hands free and get that shot off.
After winning the faceoff in their own defensive zone, Trent is now moving the ball up the field on the clear.
Really taking their time. Conley up into the offensive zone. You can see Trent, no hesitation to send a long pole up into the offensive zone, either running or up to take a pass to get that clear. They know they're very confident they can take their time, get things set up afterwards. Guelph down 10-4 with 4:44 to go here in the fourth quarter. It's so tough. You're down by 6 goals. You know you got to get out and press. You're a little tired. You've got to get out, and if you get too aggressive pressing, you know you're leaving open backdoor opportunities. You're really playing with fire when you get yourself in this situation.
Yeah.
Now the stall is on.
Yeah, I mean, the Guelph players must feel it. You're really your back is against the wall.
Jaden Sample hanging on to it, runs all the way across the formation, then hands it off. McWilliams will take this pass. McWilliams with the empty net is going to rip one home. Not sure.
Yeah, I mean,
you can make an argument for hanging on to the ball and holding and having possession of the ball and control of the clock.
Yeah.
McWilliams did not hesitate, though. He was going to the net the whole time there.
Yeah, and
saw
if you
the
get
goalie
goal,
coming out.
Then yeah. I think that's what I was a little bit confused about. I don't know if that was the strongest choice coming out of the net in that scenario. Although, what choice do you have?
Yeah, I mean, you got to push Hayden Walsh, obviously.
Yeah,
just
this late in the game. I mean,
yeah, got to throw caution to the wind a bit. The most likely scenario here is looking definitely like Trent moving on to play tomorrow in the semifinals against the juggernaut that is the 2019 Brock Badgers. Our second game tonight, Western versus Nipissing, will determine who plays the host team and East number 1 seed McGill lacrosse team. Almost said the old name. They're no longer the Redmen. They decided it was 2019. It was time to move on.
That's
and
it.
in their defense, McGill said there was never anything pejorative meant. It was not intended to be any kind of a slur, but they recognized the way the words have become considered.
Yeah,
it was not appropriate these days, and they just made the, I thought, pretty forward-thinking decision to go to McGill and just to go to McGill, and they're working on what they want the nickname to be. I can't wait. I'm curious to see what it'll be.
Yeah, me too. I think it's the right decision, and I think it's a very respectful and overdue gesture, even if it was set out with the right intentions.
Yeah. 3:36 to go as Guelph coming off their timeout. We'll go to the face-off dot. Pretty sure Trent, as they broke their huddle there on the timeout, their team call at the end was finish. Quite appropriate. They just want to finish this final 3:36 of the game, lock up a berth in the semis, and get back to the hotel and get warm and get some rest, get some good food.
Yeah, absolutely. And they deserve some good rest after this. They've played very cohesively.
They came in last night. We were talking about it before the game that Trent kind of a different approach to pregame. They had a practice this morning. They didn't spend a lot of time on the field here before the game. Maybe not wanting to show Guelph what they were doing. They're just kind of keeping things to themselves. And kind of came out fairly late, but the Forbes Field is just over our shoulders here, and teams can go and warm up there. Western and Nipissing, the late game teams, had a chance to do that. There's another flag. There was one down, and I didn't realize the refs had 2 flags. I thought you had one that you threw up, and then you had to throw your hat. Maybe they're going for the 2-flag system because it's cold and they need to keep the toque on.
Maybe. They came really, really quickly. There was the, I think maybe it was a slash, and then the misconduct immediately following. Some more nice words being shared from the players down there.
3:04 to go now. Clock is stopped while they adjudicate these. Remember, stay with us post-game for the player of the game presentations, one to each team. And then there's not going to be a lot of time when we get to the opening ceremonies for the 2019 Baggataway Cup. And
That's it. It's rapid fire here.
yeah. Then we'll have Lillian Murdoch singing the national anthem before the
great.
evening. She is amazing.
She's great.
My fiance had a gig at L'Escalier with another musician friend in the summer, and we invited Tim Murdoch and his family out. I've become friends with them over the years, of course, and they came out, and Lillian was there, and I was like, Lillian, you got to get up and sing. And Carrie and Hillary were like, absolutely, come on up. She went up and sang Jolene. A classic.
That's great.
And, she
great tune.
Great voice.
Really good. That's a good tune to call.
Yeah. Amazing young woman who's doing big things in the jazz singing scene. And I honestly, if you get a chance to listen, she just has a terrific voice. And, I know Tim Murdoch in his last season as the coach of McGill, 17 years, coming to an end. And I was just talking to Pascal Lemaire, his wife, and she was saying, they're taking a trip in January, going to New Zealand, Australia, Japan, Vietnam, and Hawaii, I believe.
Wow.
It's a few weeks in each place. And he deserves it. He's put in a lot of work.
Very leisurely.
Yeah. It's surprising because Tim is always a pretty focused guy. You played for him.
I did. I mean, we would be getting emails in the wee hours of the morning, with bold and colors and italics about the stats of the team we were playing the next day or what he wanted to do for practice the following day. He works hard. He really cares, Tim Murdoch.
Another flag is down as Romanchuk was sent sprawling. McWilliams driving down deep. Ball's going to go out of play, and Trent's going to get the ball anyway. It's pushing the back.
Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure, I would venture to guess, we don't actually know, but I would venture to guess that Garrett Eddy is going to get player of the game. And I think it's a good call. He's got two beautiful goals. And then what we loved was the feed to Cole McWilliams.
Oh, my gosh.
Just drawing the defender and then, seeing them coming up to charge and makes the dish.
Yeah, and when you make a pass like that, it just doesn't leave the defense any opportunity to recover.
No.
I mean, there's no slide there. There's nothing.
Especially when when you've got a guy with hands like Cole McWilliams in tight. I mean, there's no chance the goalie's going to stop it. But if it wasn't Garrett Eddy, I'd be pushing for Curtis Romanchuk, 27. I think the LSM's been great.
I agree. It's hard to pick someone out from Trent. I mean, they've been playing so well as a team. Great team game. So well as a team. You could
go with Cole McWilliams. I think Romanchuk's a great decision. I mean, Dylan Monroe's been very good in net. I just don't know if he's been tested that much, to be honest. I think Trent's really controlled this game pretty much from start to finish.
Yeah, I don't think I would be surprised to see if Guelph had more than 15 shots, maybe 10 on net.
Yeah.
It's hard to win games with that few shots.
Yeah, and with the latest, the Mitch Ogilvie takes an offside penalty, and then Curtis Hall is going to go and serve penalties. Guelph has 3 players. So they had a pushing call on Mike Berger, a slashing call as well, and then Ogilvie. So they've got a bunch of penalties. Guelph, they've got 3 guys over in the box. There's a white interference call on Adam Kitchen, so Guelph will get possession. And did they just threw the ball? I think Hayden Walsh just whipped it the length of the field. Just see if he could get something going. Trent's going to get it back.
Desperate times call for desperate measures.
Yep.
And there's just a stop of play every 30 seconds here.
There was an absolute prison break from the penalty box as all the Guelph players were released and just came flying out onto the field, and they're going to get the ball back. There's a hard sidearm shot ripped by Mark Wilson. He gets by Dylan Monroe. It's going to be too little too late, but a nice finish there by Wilson. We're under 2 minutes. Clock stopped on the stadium scoreboard.
That was a great shot. We used to call that the 3/4 when I was playing because it's not quite sidearm, it's not quite overhand.
Yep.
Bounces maybe 5 yards in front of the keeper and just kind of ends around knee level off stick for the goalie. I mean, it's
a tricky one.
It's a tricky shot to stop.
Nasty shot.
That's the one you take if you're trying to pad your stats right there. Nothing flashy.
Another extended battle for the face-off. We've seen them all night. This one's going to go to Guelph.
It's tough to see at home, but on those extended face-offs, a lot of times the guys will be using their hands, using their. There's lots of little tricks that you can use to sneakily gain control of the ball.
Right? I mean, when there's that many players within that small space, it's pretty tough for the officials to see through that whole crowd. You're going to do what you can do.
Yeah, when I was that was my position. I was a face-off specialist, and there were times when I would kind of lean my head over the ball to block the referee from seeing what was going on in there.
Thinking.
There's lots of you can get sneaky.
Saved by Dylan Monroe.
Sneaky.
And he's going to go for a bit of a run. Lobs a pass ahead. Going to make Aiden McLaughlin work for it. McLaughlin runs onto it.
All on his own now.
You can see he was thinking, should I shoot? Nobody coming to check me. And as he contemplated, I think it was Noah Glass that got out on him.
Mm-hmm. We are in stop time now, by the way.
Yeah. Last 2 minutes of the second half, stop time.
Say there's maybe roughly 1 minute left.
The timer is not on the field yet, so timer comes out with 30 seconds to go with the stopwatch to show the official time with the referee. McWilliams watched there by Miraz.
This is really where attackmen can earn their worth. I mean, aside from the goals and assists that they provide, attackmen really tend to take a beating in these ending hours of the game.
And that'll do it. They do. And Garrett Eddy, rather than taking a beating, just lofted one up into the sky. And as it came down, the final whistle went on Trent's 11-5 win over Guelph. They will advance to the semifinals tomorrow to face the powerful Brock Badgers in a rematch of their semifinal last year. That Trent was in very good position and had an unfortunate pass thrown away that led to a big goal for Brock. I mean, it was quite a game. It was a terrific contest. And Guelph will be done for the year. We're going to wait for the players of the game to be announced and presented with their prizes. But I just want to thank you, Chris Maderi, and Michaela, the camera person, and everyone at McGill making this possible. And, of course, you lacrosse friends for being here with us in Game 1 of the 2019 Baggataway Cup. And what do you think so far?
It was a fun game to watch, certainly. It's nice to be back in the stadium after a few years for me. And, I really hope Trent can carry this energy through because, I mean, we said it a couple times during the game, but they really played well as a team and seemed to have lots of good energy and seemed to be conserving energy very wisely.
It's a quick turnaround, right? They played 11 tomorrow morning.
Exactly. And for a team that doesn't have the depth, I mean, those are the things. The subtle strategic things that can make or break a championship season for him.
So Western is making their way out of the tunnel to our left. Nipissing that's Western at midfield in the purple with the white pants, and Nipissing to our left, the white with the blue. So they are getting ready. They're raring to go. They want it on the field. And I'm not sure how the player game presentations will be managed because there's not a lot of time between games.
No.
They may just...
Looks like we've got 25 minutes.
Yeah. Up on the clock, ticking down. So...
Western, I remember, was a team that always came out with a lot of energy.
Yes.
Yeah. There were some dramatic moments.
Jeremy Talevi has put together a program just a ton of respect for him. The way he has put together his team and his program to just keep refilling the spots that are as players graduate. I'm fascinated to see how they do. I mean, they've had Austin Haber has been the gold standard for D-Midi. I think over the last several years, and he graduates, not around, and all they have is the SSDM All-Canadian in Michael Byrne filling in for him this year. So we'll see what they can do. But they lost a couple games to Brock and weren't particularly close in those games. So it's going to be interesting. And,
absolutely. And I'm excited to see what Nipissing brings to the table.
Oh.
They were not even on the radar when I was playing at all.
They really came on.
Yeah.
Jason Rudge,
Yeah.
talking about to leave, Jason Rudge has done a great job to build up that program as
Yeah.
well. Some dominant players, Scott Dominey, the reigning scoring champion, and Tanner Poole.
Dominating.
Yeah,
cool.
This year Tanner Poole and Will Craig. I mean, they're a little top heavy. They're still building the program, so the depth maybe not quite there in terms of experience and talent. But you can see there's the Brock Badgers, I believe, heading out onto the field for the opening ceremonies. So we're going to let the camera run so you can see those. But Chris and I are going to take a break and get ready for game number 2 of the 2019 Baggataway Cup. I'm Stephen Stamp. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you shortly. Michaela, you ready? Oh, I was on there. Hello, lacrosse friends. We are live here at the 2019 Baggataway Cup. It is game number 2. Trent dominated Guelph in the first game. Now we have the 3-time defending champion Western Mustangs heading left to right, wearing their purple with the white numbers, facing the East third seed Nipissing Lakers, wearing the white with the blue numbers, going right to left. I'm Stephen Stamp, joined by Chris Maderi. Thanks for being with us. What's that?
I just said heyo.
Oh, okay. And there's quite a discussion going on here at the face-off dot.
Yeah, it looked like one of the players might have been lined up illegally.
Cody Arsenault for Western taking the draws. He's the honorable mention All-Canadian. And Western, Keegan Crowley with the ball. I love watching Keegan Crowley, the LSM play number 4. I figure every game you watch him, he does something that just makes your jaw drop.
That's how it is with these LSMs nowadays. They're just such kind of jack-of-all-trades players that you got to keep your eye on them.
Yeah, they really are.
They have some tricks up their sleeve.
Western with control off the top. There's immediately an attack. Cody Ward's going to go track it down. I'll tell you, he is an all-time leading scorer. He's won three scoring titles. He's a 4-time All-Canadian for Western, and but he does so much more than just scoring. Here's Cole Davis. Go ahead.
It was a dangerous-looking pass before it got deflected. It was going to be a feed right in on crease.
Tristan Simeone behind the net, over to Pearson Noble. And Western just comes at you and waves, and you know that they're underdogs at this tournament because Broncos look so dominant and won 2 games against Western this year. But Cody Ward behind the back, that one's a little bit wide. Looked like Will Ferguson or Andrew Wood, the goaltender for Nipissing, looked like he was on it. They'll get it back. Simeone with the ball. Over to Ward. Yeah, you talked to Jeremy Talevy, the head coach for Western. He is effusive about how much Cody Ward does for this team. Ward's going to get the ball behind the net here. Comes out from X, hits the cutter behind the back rip. Nice attempt there by Nick Ferris, the Edmonton native. Came to Western a couple of years ago and said nothing but win with the club. Big contributor to this offense. We got a pretty neat story we're going to get to that you were just sharing about one of their defenders when we're down at the other end.
Absolutely.
Here's Cole Davis spinning, shooting, just wide. It may have been tipped by the goaltender.
So the 5th shot on goal for Western.
4th or 5th shot.
Yeah.
Not sure how many of them actually been on goal. They've missed a couple of them.
That's true.
But Cole Davis with the ball. Some of the players they filled out some questionnaires for the tournament to give us some information. And Cole Davis, they asked him for favorite athletes, and he said Jesse Owens and Jerome McGinley, because they're 2 black athletes who have done a ton. And here's Ward behind the back. Oh, I thought that was a shot. It turned out to be a pass. Well, they're going to say crease violation. I think they were calling it a shot, but I thought it was pretty impressive. I mean, Davis, I don't really ever notice particularly, but Davis, there aren't a lot of players of color in Kufla, and Cole Davis who identifying. So that was pretty cool to see his response there. He is plays such a big role for this Western team through the midfield. Simeone's going to slow it down, but they have so many contributors with Ward and Davis and Simeone and Ferris, and like we said, they just come at you in waves. The defense is outstanding. You've got Crowley, the LSM. You've got Hayden Nix and all kinds of guys in that defensive end. You got AJ Skirving is a honorable mention All-Canadian on defense. Won a Founders Cup a couple of years ago with the Laura Mohawks. Just such a wealth of talent. Nipissing a little more concentrated in the talent. They're further up north. They don't have as large a pool of players to draw from. But boy, they have done an impressive job of bringing in some talent. There's a shot tipped aside. Nice save there by Wood. But Western will retain possession.
And when you're playing a team like Western that has this depth, that has this experience, that has this kind of established program, as an opponent it can be really daunting because it just, as you say, Stephen, it's just waves and waves. It's just attack after attack, and every single time they have fresh guys on the field, and it feels like it's just never ending.
Yeah. And you're talking about the attack, and you generally think of that as an offensive thing where you just keep going on. But the defense is the same way, where they come at you very aggressive defensively because they're so athletic in the defensive zone.
So that was a crease violation on the goalie there. Luckily, he got a shot right back into his stick immediately after.
Bit of a break for him. Here's a chance for Nipissing into the offensive zone, and Beau Peltier hands it back. And here's Tanner Poole, the scoring champion, who had just a brilliant year. Property of the Cobourg Kodiaks. I believe he'll be having a shot there next summer. But Poole has been outstanding for this club. The Barrie native. Quite a few Barrie guys on the roster. Well, just a few, I guess. But Nipissing, I mean, Scott Dominey, I thought it was so great last year for Nipissing. They really grew. Jason Rudge has done a terrific job building this program and really creating a competitive team. And they got into the playoffs, had a game with Queens to earn a trip to the Baggataway Cup. And unfortunately, at the end of that game, Scott Dominey took a vicious slash from a Queens player, a really dirty play that separated his shoulder, caused him to miss the Baggataway last year, which was so tough for them. And he'd just been drafted by the Toronto Rock. It cost him some time with them, but he got into a game, he scored a goal, and then was lights out for the Cobourg Kodiaks as a rookie in MSL this summer. And he has been just fantastic with this team. That's him with the ball right now, Scott Dominey. Kind of setting his man up, getting him on his back. That's John Kitt. Kitt, the St. Catharines native. So many St. Catharines guys go to Brock, so it's interesting to see one coming over to their arch rival in purple. And there's Hayden Nix. And I want you to tell everyone what you were just telling me before we came on air.
Yeah, Hayden Nix, he was a teammate of mine when I was playing for McGill. That was in 2012 through 2014. Just first of all, a very nice person, very smart guy. He's currently a med student at Western. If Western makes it to the championships, which obviously there's a fair chance of that happening, and they win, that will be Hayden Nix's 100th Kufla win of his life.
Just unbelievable.
Which is pretty cool.
In a league where you play, well, it was 12-game seasons. And now 10 games. I don't even know how that's possible, but I mean, you get to keep playing if you're in school. And with med school.
Exactly. So he's gotten a couple extra years of eligibility there. And and just to give you an idea of the type of player that Hayden Nix is, I mean, just before the game during warm-ups, a couple of the defenders were taking shots, and meanwhile Hayden Nix was just practicing his ground ball skills. I mean, he is just technical, no funny business, just a good, solid defender.
No nonsense. There's a pass picked off. Great job by Philip Mazuka. And there's Hayden Nix swooping
on the
in.
Ground ball.
And that's why you put that time in before the game.
That's
so you come up with the contested ground ball in traffic.
It's like he has a vacuum cleaner on his stick. It just sucks him right up.
Makes the pass ahead to John Kitt. I'm a big fan of John Kitt as well. I think he's a terrific defender. A nice pass ahead to Simeone to get things rolling, but that one's picked off. There's a great play by Braden Trace, the Elmvale native. Every player on this Nipissing roster is from Ontario except for Keegan Legere from Charlottetown, the backup goalie from Prince Edward Island. So very Ontario-centric club. In contrast, you have a handful, players from Alberta and BC. And at least one American, Ben Landers, a backup goalie again. So one of transplant goalies in the game.
We're seeing a lot of broken play here. It's been back and forth, up and down the field several times in a row now, with no one having solid possession.
And Keegan Crowley took that pass and saw Cody Ward down low, but kind of got the pass a little errant and was right down by Ward's feet, got away from him. Western pushing the pace, and it's fascinating to watch Western play because for years they were the slow it down, play offense, play defense, play your position, play your play your role in field lacrosse. And then they changed it up. They felt like they needed to switch things up a little bit, and really a pretty dramatic change in their style of play. And they'd push the pace, they'd force possession, force turnovers, and boy, it's been fantastic for them. Here's Sam Rooney, still fighting to get free, gets it across to the far side. Nice save there.
Big save.
Wow, Michael Orlando.
Hayden Nix on the ground ball again.
Yep. Orlando coming in this year after Manraj Najjar has been outstanding for Western, winning 3 straight championships with them, and apparently sick this year, is not able to play. And I believe he may be here. I'm not 100% sure. I heard that he probably was going to be here. He'd been around with the team, but
imagine he probably would be.
I would think so, yeah. But Manny Najjar, I'll tell you that, he has been such a big part of this program. And what a great kid, too. I mean, he just came in and was so excited to be part of the tradition Western was building. Here's Simeone. Isolating Simeone. There is some slide help available, so he's just going to pass it across. They'll try and reset things on the far side. That
Looks
one
like
gets
they're
away.
Setting up for a dodge now.
Cole Davis hands it off. Over to Julian Simeone. Nick Ferris. That's Ward tracking down the ball after it got stripped from him. Skip pass. Here's a chance. Oh, that one was blocked out front.
You know he's feeling that one.
Yeah, Quinn Harding, the face-off guy in long pole for Nipissing. Great pressure on the ride by Western to force that ball out of bounds, and Nix will start with possession for the Mustangs. And he gingerly walks back across the track. When you're wearing your turf cleats and you get onto the track, that is tricky.
Yeah, very, very slippy.
Western hanging on to possession. Simeone over to Ward. Cole Davis initiating from the top. Gets into space, it's shot, but it goes wide. May have actually been tipped on the way to the net. And you can see the crease at the top in front of Andrew Wood is
starting to look like a bit of a
little disheveled.
Dali painting out there.
Yeah. Davis Twister, beautiful finish on the run. Alley dodge from way up high.
You could kind of feel that goal was coming. you could feel that the goal was coming on because Western, as we said earlier, had several attempts. It seemed like it was only a matter of time.
Yeah, and they're going to try and fix that crease. The ref's getting a look at it, and Andrew Wood gets out to give him a hand. It's funny, the rest, I mean, obviously that's the part of the crease that's going to get the most traffic, but the rest has been fine. I mean,
it's true.
Everywhere else has been okay.
Yeah. And sometimes it's just the way it is when they initially stick it down. You know, turf has all those kind of micro pellets of rubber, so sometimes it's hard for the tape to kind of adhere to the same place.
That's going to be a violation. Really early start. Arsenault just jumping, and Nipissing's going to get the ball. Bo Pelche on the team along with his brother, Kieran. We're number 9 for Nipissing. Pelche with the falling shot. It can be a little tricky as he was kind of dropping to the turf as he shot, and it's hard to tell for a goalie where that's going to go, but nice job there.
Coming from a weird angle.
Yeah, Orlando gets the stop.
Looks like Nipissing is running a fairly relaxed ride here, just leaving the goalie with all the decision. Sometimes when you put the pressure on the goalie like that, they make some forced choices. He can get
being pretty patient now. A young player, Orlando, and he makes the simple pass as he just left Michael Byrne open. Again, the short stick D midi, all Canadian.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but this year there was a rule change that they took off the timer for the clear. There's no longer like a 30-second offensive zone touch that you have to get. Maybe this happened within the past few years. I know Tim mentioned it to me.
Oh, okay. I'd have to double check on that one. I don't recall the.
I didn't notice the referees counting the clear clock.
I've never noticed a particularly high level of urgency for most goalies to get the ball out of their defensive zone when they've had the ball. So
Yeah.
Western gets it back. Simeone. He's going to hand it over to Ward before play's blown back in. Pretty wholesale changes for both clubs. Nipissing short-handed.
Running a very active man-down defense here. Lots of slides. We'll see how it plays out for them.
So 1 minute slashing call was the penalty on Braden Trace. But that ball gets away, and Nipissing has it all, but it's thrown right back to the Mustangs. Hustling in was John Kitt to grab it and get it up to the offense. Well, they still have the man advantage. Really unfortunate error for Nipissing. It's going to lead to a scoring chance here. Oh, it's tipped away, though. The active stick gets it away from Ward, but he tracks it down. That's one of the things Jeremy Talevy always talks about with Ward. He'll go get ground balls. He's very selfless as a player.
Wow. I mean, yeah, just as you said that, he threaded a very cool pass across crease. Unfortunately, his compatriot missed it.
Ward's always been a big scorer in the season. He hasn't always been a huge scorer in the playoffs. And, some people will look at that and be like, oh, he doesn't come through in the playoffs. And Jeremy Talevy's like, no, that's nonsense. He just plays a team game and teams focus on him. So he just facilitates for other people and plays an all-around game, which he does. We've got a timeout taken by Nipissing late here in the first quarter. We're under 30 seconds.
Only the one goal.
Yeah, that's a low-scoring game. And, of course, scores down around the league as we've gone from 20-minute quarters to 15-minute quarters. So games 60 minutes long now instead of 80. You're reducing the games by 25%. Scoring has come down commensurately. But even so, like I've looked at, followed the scores through the season. There have been a lot of low-scoring games. Defense really coming to the fore.
Yeah, it seems like in this game, at least, both teams are coming out with a lot of energy. So we've seen a lot of kind of clumsily dropped passes and maybe some forced decisions, and seems like both teams just need to settle and play their game.
Always a bit of nerves when you get to Baggataway Cup.
Of course.
You come out with energy. No, not one of those. I've got a glass that says wax on it, like it's a plastic, but it's like a reusable. I don't know. I filled it up and put it on a counter. Okay, thanks. So we'll come back out. Nipissing with the last chance to get on the board here in the first quarter. We'll start with Will Craig with the ball. Believe he was the league scoring leader. Had like 30 goals this year. What a season. They start to move. Back to Craig. Up to the top. Sam Rooney. Down the alley. Step back shot. Stopped by Orlando. And he's just going to loft it down the field and try and get something going for Western. What a catch by Cody Ward. Time's going to run out, but wow, that is a hell of a catch by Cody Ward in traffic on the long high pass. Ball going in and out of the lights. That's unbelievable. I mean, it didn't lead to a thing, but it just is jaw-dropping.
Yeah, it's like one of those halftime shots almost.
Yeah.
Or half-court shots.
Yeah, we're going to take a 2-minute break as it is quarter time. Western Mustangs 1, the Nipissing Lakers 0. I'm Stephen Stamp with Chris Mederi. This is Baggataway Cup 2019. Welcome back, lacrosse friends, to a chilly Percival Molson Stadium here on the campus of McGill University in Montreal. Second quarter, Western versus Nipissing at the 2019 Baggataway Cup.
Oh, yeah, big-time hits there off the face-off.
Oh, what a chance and the save. Just swooping in to scoop up that ball was Michael Byrne. The D-Midi we mentioned, he will do it. He's the all-Canadian D-Midi in the West, but he can do it at both ends of the field. You saw it there as he had a great scoring chance.
And Andrew Wood, too, an equally great save.
Western with possession once again. We were talking, there's a flag coming. So Western looking to take advantage of this as they play continuation. There's Ward, double team coming. He backs away. Skip passes there for him. He's going to fight through and get a shot off and scores.
Wow.
Cody Ward just fights through the checks. And a little underhand shot that just skips home.
Yeah, it was low and away for Andrew Wood, the lefty goalie. Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised to see that go in. I wasn't expecting it.
It almost looked like Ward didn't feel like he had a shooting lane, and then all of a sudden just kind of let it go.
Yeah, indeed. It's pretty. I don't know if you find the same, but the style of lacrosse is completely different than the last game. I mean, the last game we were seeing, minutes and minutes of kind of orchestrated offensive play, and now we're seeing almost the opposite.
Well, the defense is just making it super hard on either team to control the ball, to set anything up in the offensive zone. I mean, the goals we've seen, the first one was Cole Davis just on an isolation dodge that he just went hard twister, and this one is Ward on the delayed penalty, just fighting off traffic, and honestly a shot that I don't know if he even takes if there's not a delayed penalty coming, because you want to hang on to the possession. I think he might have moved the ball there. I feel like he thought, hey, I got a chance, and here's a hard rip. That one's going to be stopped.
That was a
Western will get it.
Good man-up opportunity there for Western.
Oh, and there's another penalty was coming to Nipissing. So the player is heading off to the box to start serving. And
yeah, that was all Canadian Cody Ward on the goal there.
Yeah.
Seems like he might have practiced that shot once or twice.
He's not bad. Yeah, 4-time All-Canadian Cody Ward. We had some repeaters this year as Ward, his 4th time, and we had Adam Kirchmeier, the defender for Brock, who's been on as both an LSM and as a close defense, and then Nick Jakowski from Trent, his 5th time as an All-Canadian, the first 3 with Nipissing, and then he goes to Trent for Teachers College and gets 2 more, and just a dominant player all over the field. But, the All-Canadians out on the website. You can see the story they posted on kufla.ca. Go see all the All-Canadians, and you can follow the Baggataway Cup, see all the scores from the year, all the scoring leaders, the standings. Make sure you're with us tomorrow, as it will be semifinal action, the 11 a.m. game. And the game's starting a bit earlier because, as we mentioned in the first game, the Montreal Alouettes were going to be having, if they had home games in the playoffs, where originally the plan was, I believe, to be in Olympic Stadium. They decided they wanted to be here in Molson Stadium, and that's tomorrow. That's Sunday, which is why we have to move the championship game over to Concordia. But also it meant that this field had to be, and this facility had to be available for the Alouettes. I believe it's 26 hours before the game, so we have to finish tomorrow. So 11-1 are the games. 11 will be the West number 1 seed Brock Badgers against the winner of tonight's first quarterfinal, the Trent Excalibur, in a rematch of last year's semi. And the other game will see the host and East number 1 McGill playing the winner of tonight's second game. Right now, the Western leads 3-0 and are starting to establish some control. And a little bit more with a sidearm rip. What a shot from Nick Ferris. He's a sniper from Edmonton, and he has buried one here.
Yeah, that was just a laser of a shot from about 15 yards out from the point.
Well, very impressive the way that Western has been able to control, I think, the Nipissing star forwards, the attack and the middies, and Scott Dominy and Tanner Poole, both All-Canadians. Dominy at midi and Poole actually also at midi, and then Will Craig on attack as an honorable mention. And it's just led to this control for Western in the offensive zone. And now the offense is clicking with a few goals here in the first, just the one in the first quarter, 3 in the first 3 minutes of the second quarter, and Western really establishing control.
Absolutely, and they're very strong on the faceoff too. It seems. I think they've won over 70% of the faceoffs. I mean, that's speculative, but I don't think I've seen a faceoff go to Nipissing at all this game yet.
You remind me, in the summer I called Major Series lacrosse games, home games for Peter Moran Coburg with Jim Wasson. He's a member of 4 Lacrosse Halls of Fame. Great player, great guy. And he was doing color with me. And he would say, I think the face-offs are about 60% for this team, and they've got 90% of this. He'd pull these numbers out, and I'd be like, "You've been writing down the numbers." He's like, "No, that's just that's approximate. I'm guessing there."
It's like Rain Man.
Yeah, right? The savant.
I'm an excellent driver.
I get to drive slow in the driveway. But it's a really strong effort here in the second quarter by Western, and that's the kind of thing they've done to teams over the last few years, right? Where they'll play you tight, it'll look close, and teams feel like they're competing, and then Western all of a sudden goes on a little run, and they capitalize on mistakes.
Yeah, and I think it's part of what you were talking about earlier about having depth. Like when you have that kind of continued energy, and every single player is, either all Canadian or well above average, and and it can feel relentless for opponents. And when you start to get tired, and their third string guys are pretty much as good as their first string guys, and it's just becomes a never-ending attack.
And again, you say attack, but I'd reiterate again, it's at both ends of the field.
Yeah, never-ending pressure. Never-ending pressure.
The defense is on you all the time.
Yeah, and on you in the most annoying way. They have the head of their stick right in between your arms, right under your armpit. It's just a really uncomfortable way to play lacrosse when a defender is right up in your grill like that.
Tanner Poole starts with possession for Nipissing, throws it across to the far side, but he'll get it back at the top. See if these Nipissing offensive stars can get something going. We are back to even strength after a couple of Nipissing penalties. Poole backpedaling, and then there's John Gregg, another one of those depth guys, not one of the guys that's been big over the last couple of years, but with the pressure. And then Scott Dominey may have forced that shot a little bit. I think he's looking pretty shaken up on the field. Penalty is coming to Western. And it is John Gregg. Moments after I'd been praising him for how well he's playing, takes the penalty. That happens.
Dominy's walking a little bit gingerly on his leg after that hit. Right leg looking a little tender.
We'll see how he does. Cuts out. Poole thought about going to Dominey. Now they go skip past and then into the middle. Nice spinning attempt there by Beau Peltier. And Western's going to get it. A little discussion about who it went off of. And it was off Nipissing, so it's Western ball. Pass to Orlando behind the net. Back over to A.J. Skirving, the honorable mention All-Canadian.
Both teams running a similar ride, leaving the goalie unmanned so that you can pressure all the other players.
Cody Ward slowing things down while Western kills the remainder of the penalty. Cross-checking call to John Gregg. They're back at full strength, leading 4-0. 5.5 minutes into the second quarter. I'm Steven Stamp with Chris Mederi. Thanks for being with us here at the Baggataway Cup. Taking their time, they set things up at the top, throwing the ball over to Ryan McLean from Okotoks, Alberta. Obviously, Alberta making a name for itself, really rising in the lacrosse power rankings in this country.
The sport's growing a lot, even in a country that is already it's already quite popular. Yeah, all over the world, it seems to be
Yep.
gaining some momentum.
Actually, probably growing more in other countries.
I agree.
other than Canada,
I agree with
think.
that. I agree with that.
I know I talked to my colleague at Inside Lacrosse in Isle Indoor, Marty O'Neill, and he is always talking about how minor lacrosse registration is down. What a shot from the outside. Nice little sidearm skipper from Rowan McLaughlin.
Yeah, I think that's the maybe third or fourth shot that Andrew Wood's taken low and away, and it's there's not a lot you can do as a defender. People are going to shoot from 15 yards away. That's not a very high percentage shot.
Yeah.
It's on the keeper to keep those out.
But yeah, Marty's always talking about how minor lacrosse registration is down and we're nearing crisis levels. And I mean, there's still so many good lacrosse players, but it is important. I'll tell you, I wrote a story for the OLA magazine last year about the Tri Lacrosse program. And that, to me, is a shining hope for the game in this country, where they would go and they do free clinics for kids new to the game.
Cool.
In any city, and the OLA was helping, they providing materials, and you'd go and it was free, and you'd get signed up, and the insurance was all taken care of. They figured it out, and I'll tell you, I talked to somebody from Nepean about it. Actually, the father of Sam Firth, who's been a great Kufla player with Bishops, and he was saying, we had all these kids come in, and we did pretty well. We had like 30 or 40% of the kids signed up for an ongoing program.
That's
and I was
great,
like,
yeah.
Pretty well? That's incredible. Like, signed up for paid, ongoing lacrosse programs because they love what they're doing in the Tri Lacrosse. So I think that's very promising, very hopeful.
Yeah, that's how you grow the sport.
Yeah.
You got to do it.
Sticks in hands.
That's it.
Right now, Western has the ball in their sticks, in their hands, up 5-0 with 7 minutes to go in the first half. And Nipissing can't afford to give up more goals. They need to just kind of slow things down, get into the locker room and regroup, ideally get a goal or two before the half. Tight defensive pressure applied by Nipissing. But Western just taking their time.
Even as little as winning a faceoff would be good for Nipissing, because Western just got the ball right back after their goal.
Well, that one hit that top part of the crease and kind of moved the crease, bounced a little funny. Wood made the save. Now we're going to have a violation, and Nipissing will get the ball.
Hope Andrew Wood's okay. He's looking.
Yeah, he's a little shaken up, and actually they're going to call for the trainer, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He did make the save. It looked like on the shot that moved the crease a bit. Hopefully it didn't bounce up into his nether regions there.
I've said it before. I don't know how anybody plays net.
I don't know.
In field lacrosse, it's a crazy position. We were talking with Cameron Dunkerley, who's a goalie. Plays. Was just in the Minto Cup this year with the Victoria Shamrocks. He was drafted by the Saskatchewan Rush. Plays. Actually went to OFSA field lacrosse a couple of times with his high school in Caledon, and I said, I don't know how guys play goalie in field lacrosse. He said, it's a crazy position.
It's a crazy position. It's a crazy position.
So little padding.
Yeah, I mean, and guys are taking, the fastest shooters will take 130 kilometers an hour shots at you from 10 yards away. I mean, it's insane. You got to be a special type of crazy for that position. Of course, people say the same about the face-off X, which is what I used to play too. So. I guess each spot has.
There's a level of crazy for playing face-off, but you don't have guys whipping balls at you for the most part. Occasionally, wow, are you kidding me on that goal? What a play by Bo Pelche as he drives to the net, runs into 3 Western defenders, is actually lifted up off the ground by the check, and still gets the shot off and bounces it home. That's a brilliant play, and couldn't have come at a better time for Nipissing.
Yeah, they needed it. Sometimes the hero dodges work out. They do.
Mm-hmm. Case in point.
Right there, yeah. That's where their allure comes from.
Exactly. They look spectacular when they work out.
That's it.
Another face-off win by the master, Cody Arsenault, from Calgary. Ward actually drops that ball. It's picked up by Wood, who, good thing he's been able to stay in.
Yeah.
Some pressure. He gets the ball handed off to Braden Trace.
Ooh. Wood taking a hit there.
Cody Ward, he scored a ton of goals in Kufla. That's probably the easiest one ever.
Yeah, I agree. And I was going to mention it earlier. Western's ride seems to be working pretty well for them.
So much pressure.
Yeah, it looks uncomfortable, to say the least, for Nipissing.
Well, it's interesting. When so many teams, when they ride, they try and put that pressure on, and the team they're riding will just find the open man and just make it look like a waste of energy, a waste of effort to put that pressure on. But Western is so good on the off-ball coverage on the ride.
It's true. It's true, yeah.
Players just feel like there's nowhere to go.
Every man matters on the ride. You really, you really.
One guy's open and it's broken.
Exactly, exactly.
Oh, that's an early start. Cody Arsenault is very good on the faceoffs, but he's had 2 that he's jumped on before the ref even got the whistle to his lips.
I think it's the only 2 that he's lost.
Oh, it is. It is. And we've had, 9 faceoffs so far, so that's 7 and 2.
Yeah.
We've got him at roughly.
Roughly, yes, roughly.
Yes. Tanner Poole will hand it off to Will Craig. That is their dangerous triumvirate right there with Poole and Craig, and then Scott Dominey kind of making a triangle with them. He's going to cut down low now, actually cut around behind X. To Poole. Oh, what a great strip. Hayden Nix there knocking that one loose. Nice play by the Nipissing pole to just shovel it ahead, not stepping over the line. You can reach with your stick, and he made a full extension, got it back to the O. Boy, you talked about on the ride how Western has the pressure, and we talked about the off-ball pressure. Same thing here on the defense. The off-ball defense is so good that you can see Nipissing guys are just wondering where they can throw a pass.
Yeah. I mean, and you saw the pressure there. I mean, all the way out, almost to the sideline. It's like beyond the box. The man with the ball had a defenseman right on his hands.
Which is great if you can make it work, but it's so dangerous for those backside cuts. But there you can see Dominey stripped.
Yeah.
Great defensive play by John Kitt, who, again, he's one of those guys. He was one of their depth defenders, very good defender. He's been very good for them for several years now. But now he's stepping up as one of the top guys, and he's been great.
And then, conversely, Nipissing's ride, which looks to be similar in style, just not working. Western, knows exactly how to clear against that type of ride.
They've got Western has so many veteran players, and they have the poise that you ride them, and they just say, "Okay, 2 guys are coming from here. That means somebody's open. Right there."
It is simple math. It is simple math. Like it's not. It is not rocket science. You just have to stay calm and take your time.
Simeone skip pass. Gets it up top to Ferris, who moves it across to Cole Davis.
Now it's a moving pick call, yeah. Got to have your feet set.
There's a great clear. Just using speed and elusiveness by Jack Drinkwalter from North Bay.
Penalty on the play. It'll be on Western. Potentially for that slash, just as someone was coming over the midline.
Great save by Michael Orlando, who hasn't faced a ton of shots and is very sharp when he does face one there from Sam Rooney. As I said, I didn't see who went into the box for Western. Nobody did. They eventually have to send
someone in there.
Yeah, they've got John Gregg over there now. Or is it? I think it's actually Julian Simeone has gone in. But they didn't originally have someone in the box.
Yeah.
They said, hey, you got to go in there. You got to get that penalty time ticking down. Here's a big chance. And the hard rip by Poole.
Wow.
What a shot. Tanner Poole.
That's that three-quarter shot we were talking about last game.
Yeah.
Really hard to stop for a keeper. Nipissing's showing some signs of life here at the end of the second quarter.
Yeah.
It's nice to see. Seen a lot of shots go in from 12, 15 yards out.
I mean, some of that, a lot of bounce shots.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, when the season of the year, as we go on, the conditions tend to get colder. But with a bit of snow, the ground definitely harder than you used to, and it definitely affects the way the ball bounces.
Absolutely.
As much as you can warm your goalie up and pregame and you can get him ready, it's still a little different when you start facing those bouncers on the harder turf.
Absolutely. And sometimes the one bounce will be on the hard turf, and then the next bounce will be on a snowy spot, and it won't
Right.
bounce at all. And it's like it doesn't leave you much chance as a goalie.
So there's a penalty coming, kind of a delayed call. So we're into the final seconds here of the first half. Western up 6-2. And Julian Simeone's going back, and I'm wondering if he left early or if it's just another procedure penalty. Let's see. Michael Orlando just flipping that crease back over. And Nipissing setting up on the man advantage. Be huge if they get another one, but the pass to Domini is just a little out of his reach.
Yeah,
He's roll out of play.
unfortunate. It's unfortunate.
And that'll pretty much do it for the half as Western's going to get possession. Oh, no.
And you can see just how slick that surface is.
Oh, the track is obviously worse. And Kit got there and started to slide. And you can just see the feet going in different directions. You're like, oh, and you're cold. You just don't hurt anything, John Kit. And he's okay. He'll leave the ball there for the second half. And we'll go to the break with Western leading Nipissing 6-2. I'm Stephen Stamp with Chris Maderi. Thanks for being with us here at the Baggataway Cup 2019. We'll be back in 10 minutes with the second half. Welcome back, lacrosse friends, to the 2019 Baggataway Cup. I'm Stephen Stamp with Chris Maderi. The players have returned from their warm dressing rooms. And Michaela and Chris and I have returned from the warm room just across the hall.
Oh, yeah.
Because it is a chilly night here at Percival Olson Stadium on the campus of McGill University in Montreal.
Yep, we are definitely below freezing here.
Yes.
And
we have the camera, the bay door open so that Michaela can film without the doors in the way. So it's all her fault. It's a lovely evening for lacrosse, though. Really, I mean, the winds have calmed down. The snow isn't falling. It's the conditions aren't too bad. We really haven't seen much slipping on the field, so things are going very well. And really well for the Western Mustangs after a 1-0 first quarter. They got up 6-1 with a very strong second quarter. A late goal by Tanner Poole brought Nipissing back within 4, but Western starting possession of the second half with the ball. A little switch hand shot by Ferris. Doesn't connect. Oh, but he knocks down the ball on the ride, and boy, Western's just getting the ball back over and over again. Round the world attempt, he just misses.
Wow. You know, a solid number of Western shots have been behind the back.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
Davis dodging. That's how he scored the first goal of the game, was from that dodge from up top, and he gets another one.
Wow.
This time a double clutch and then a little hop shot. Then bounces it between the legs, a little 5-hole marker. Cole Davis.
Yeah, it seems like Nipissing's slide package just is not working yet, because we've seen several players for Western dodge the initial defender and then re-dodge the slide for a solid scoring opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you saw Davis just kind of throw the fake, tuck it in, and a few more steps. And he's so quick. I mean, he's got great footwork on that diagonal dodge there.
Yeah, and it looks like his release is quite quick as well. He went from, full sprint to shot, in just less than a second.
Procedure violation will award the ball to Western. And Beau Pelche. Oh, we are gonna have a penalty going the other way. It's Pelche. Now, Pelche was holding on to the ball. Yeah, and he's going to go for delay of game because he held on, didn't put the ball down. I thought the penalty was coming on the Western player who knocked his stick out of his hands. I thought, hey, he's holding on to the ball.
I was going to say that's a bit of a stiff call there.
Yeah, but no, Pelche gets it for the delay. So
yeah, a little bit of a late, but I think it's an okay call.
Yeah. I agree with it. You can't just stand there hanging on to the ball. If the guy has to knock it loose, you've already gone past the point where you should have put it down.
No, and this is something that comes with experience too, knowing to just drop the ball right away instead of you holding on to it.
There's an element of frustration, I would think. You're trailing 7-2 and come in with high hopes and really getting pretty solidly outplayed at this point by Western. The offense doing good stuff for Western, but the defense really impressive, limiting Scott Dominy, Tanner Poole, and Will Craig, the all-Canadian trio. Very little impact they've had on this game so far.
It has just been locked down.
Yeah. Cole Davis missed the pass, but tracks back to get it. Beats his man, comes down, passes in front. What a play. Great feed to the perfect spot. And Nick Ferris has his second on a beautiful quick stick.
Yeah, good pass, good finish. Not much else to say there about that play.
Well, and Davis, I mean, we've seen him score a couple times on the dodge from the top where he just initiates and goes and just breaks down. And this time, again, waits to the draw and then to draw the defender, and this dishes off. But Ferris just had his defender on his back, popped out, just a little flash cut, just a step or two to get himself into position to take the pass. And the ball's gone before anybody can adjust to it. Oh, and it looked like we were going to have a face-off win there for Tyler Loney from Cayuga, Ontario. And
fumbled it out of...
Yeah.
Oh.
Just a late bump there.
Some more friendly words being exchanged there. Absolutely. Better
Two flags fly from the same ref and at the same toss. And I'm curious if he meant to throw them both or if they just happened to come out together. Are they separate hands? Was it two hands or was it one hand that pulled? I thought one hand just pulled them both out.
Dual wielding penalties.
Yeah. Koofla lacrosse coverage live with sound effects.
That's it. That's it.
So one player from each team is going after that extracurricular activity.
Yeah, it's probably double unsportsmanlike. Yeah.
Yep. Seems fair. 8-2 Western leads. Nipissing with the ball. Oh, and the pass from Domini just immediately knocked away.
And this is what we were talking about, just the lockdown defense. In transition now, Western, another goal.
Wow.
And that goal was from Trenton Simeone, assistant from Keegan Crowley.
Yeah, so Keegan Crowley, the LSM, who's just been a staple on all tournament teams, and he's the All-Canadian LSM for the West Division, and he's such a difference maker, a real impact player. And gets it ahead. Tristan Simeone, who scored some huge goals for Western over the last couple of Baggataway Cups.
Yeah, it seems
Jonathan Gallardi coming out to take the face-off for Western. So, you talked earlier about Western just sending waves of players, and, they send another guy out to take the draw, and Nipissing does come away with one. A chance at the net. Oh, a bouncer. Turned aside by Orlando. Great effort, though, by Tyler Loney.
That might have been the first clean face-off win we've seen of the tournament so
all
far.
night. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man, wide open up front. What a save, Orlando. Will Craig was left alone. Almost had too much time on that one. Here's A.J. Skirving. The lock's flying behind him. He's known for that lettuce hanging out the back of the bucket. There's Ward. And he's stripped. Boy, that is rare. And he is right after Scott Domini. You can see the pressure. That is why Jeremy Talevi likes Cody Ward so much. Loses the ball, is immediately pressuring to try and get it back. And Nipissing gets one at the other end. Beau Pelche, who's been really their top guy. We were talking at the half, people saying, Western just shutting down the Nipissing trio of Poole, Domini, and Craig. And Pelche's been the guy who's been stepping up and saying, okay, if you're going to make us win it, or make us do the work, I'll try and do it.
And that was Poole on the assist there. You can't always shut down completely the best players like that. They're going to get their points. And it comes at a pretty important time for Nipissing. I mean, that was one of their only offensive possessions. They made a quick conversion.
8:08 to play here in the third quarter. 8-3 the score. Western ahead. Cody Arsenault back out for Western. And he's going to win it over to Crowley, who lobs it back to him. Arsenault bobbles the ball. He's just more comfortable when it's on the ground. Oh, he dives after it, but can't quite get there in time.
Love the commitment, though.
Boy, he slid a long way, too.
Yeah.
Pretty much right into the Nipissing bench. There's the pressure again from Western, and Simeone's going to get the ball back. And it was Cody Ward leading the ride. Now Ward's going to be patient as they get the offense out. Over to Simeone. We got an offside call on Western. I think they just had an imprecise change over the box.
I totally agree. That's exactly what it was.
Yeah. Sometimes, it's a fairly simple thing, but there are pretty strict rules about the change box, where you come in, come out, and sometimes you just get a little lackadaisical. Nothing lackadaisical about Beau Pelche tonight. His third goal and an absolute sidearm rocket.
And that's why you got to be on point on those changes. The little things matter. Then you can see how Nipissing just capitalized on a quick goal, another quick goal.
2 in a row. They're still down by 4, but a little momentum, a little more confidence building.
They've definitely got the right idea. Quick shots.
I'll tell you the other thing, with Pelche having 3 goals, Western's got to start thinking, okay, do we cover him? Do we pay more attention to him? Not that you don't cover him, but do you pay more attention? And if so, does that open things up a little bit? Because obviously you want to get Poole and Domini and Craig going.
Yeah, absolutely.
Arsenault, that's a clean win. And then the back of the stick shovel pass. Ward fakes it through, doesn't give it up to Byrne. Ward goes for a run up high, reverts and heads back down, tosses it over. Now it's Byrne's turn. Western hanging out at the perimeter for now. Julian Simeone. Going to pass it back to his brother Tristan. Quinn Harding out on him. Rowan McLaughlin will hand it off. Cuts through the middle as Ward circles around the top. Nice slide help there, but good ball movement. Oh, and then a great slide to ram McLaughlin to the ground. Ball is loose, but it's Cody Ward that gets it back and just taps it. Very heads-up play to just swat it over to his teammate, Ryan McLean.
Yeah, Nipissing defense maybe feeling a bit energized by the few goals. Showing some confidence there.
Oh, they're pushing it in transition there, and then the pass low and behind. Will Craig forced him to stop and go back. Recovers well. AJ Skirving, speaking of recovering, gets back and limits his opportunity. Here's Poole. Oh, great pass down to Pelche.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that it was blocked. It was right on goal.
Yeah.
It's right there.
Here's Poole way up at the top. Gillardy watching Poole. Jonathan Gillardy. Pass in tight. There's the slide. Great double team by Western. They come up with the ball. But the ride pressure from Nipissing. They get it back momentarily. Flag coming. Illegal cross-check, the call. That's going to be on Ryan McLean. So Nipissing with 2 straight goals, some momentum, and now a chance on the man up.
Yeah, if they score a quick goal here, we've got quite a game on our hands.
Yeah. Was that a minute? Oh, there's a chance, a diving shot from Pelche, who's feeling it. He wants the ball. He's right on top of the crease. But Keegan Crowley was just waiting for that pass to come. He was going to de-stick Bo Pelche. Pass through the middle of Domini, who tries to just kind of tap it on. It's going to get away, being tracked down. It's out of bounds. Nice hustle by Pelche. Got to be careful. Sorry, that's Riley Sloan, 28 there.
You do have to be careful on that track because you don't want to slip and hurt your wrist or something like this.
Yeah, that's the real danger, right? Is you slip, your feet go out from under you, you fall back.
Stupid
and then
injury.
You put your hands back. And I mean, you're hustling for all you're worth to try and get to that loose ball. And then you've got all that momentum as you hit the track. And like a deer on ice. Wide open pass to Kit. Nobody near him. Nipissing riding on the far side. There's behind the back from Ferris. Stopped by Wood. Ball pops loose. It's going to come all the way out. But just stumbling a little bit was Michael Byrne. Still tracking after and gets that ball. Great effort by Byrne.
Western is just all over these ground balls, I got to say.
Oh, what a passing play to the backdoor finish by Julian Simeone. Cody Ward has been brilliant. Simeone with the great finish, and Western's looking dynamic.
Is that a hat trick for him now?
For Simeone?
Yeah. No.
I think that's his first, isn't it? Julian Simeone?
Yeah, see.
23? I think it's his first. I could be wrong. Let me scroll back through some texts here. I'll tell you, though, Cody Ward's been in on just about everything.
I
Tristan, 27, yeah.
I forgot that.
Yeah, Tristan and Julian both playing for Western.
We have the duo there, the Simeone duo on attack.
The Sudbury natives. Arsenault from Calgary is going to try and win another face-off here for Western. I'll tell you, though, it may not be a hat trick for Julian Simeone, but that's a bunch of points for Cody Ward. He has been outstanding, as he so often has for Western. What a catch, and great job protecting the ball there by Simeone, or by it's Philip Mazuka, the Burlington, Ontario native. Tristan Simeone now with the ball. So it's Tristan's 27 and Julian is 23. For you Simeone fans out there. Or new Simeone fans. I guess if you're a Simeone fan, you know who's who.
That's it.
But for the new Simeone fans, those are the brothers and their numbers.
Myself included.
There you go.
Myself included.
Into the final minute of the third quarter, 9-4 Western. Slowing things down a little bit. Scott Dominey with some defensive pressure.
Seems to be just running down the clock here. Ooh.
Oh, I don't know. Pearson Noble was trying to run down the clock. Comes up with it. Penalty coming. It'll be to Dominey, I guess. Oh, and Julian Simeone was thinking about that sharp angle shot. Decided against it. Cody Ward flings it out. Here's Cole Davis. We've seen him do this. That's a nice save, though, by Wood. Play will be blown down.
Save, maybe?
Yeah. I thought he may have got the stick over there.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. It was hard to see. The rebound looked like it might have been a foot save.
Yeah. Honestly, goalies in this sport move their sticks so quick, you can hardly tell what's happening. They're unbelievable. Get that stick up high, and the reactions are amazing. Just a few seconds left here in the third quarter. Well, a little more than a few because they're hanging on, being patient. Cole Davis down to Ward. Now they start to go. There's the cut. It's picked off or knocked down at least. Nipsing will get the ball, and they just want this quarter to end. And it will. With the ball in the stick of Braden Trace from Elmvale, Ontario. I'm Stephen Stamp with Chris Maderi. We'll take a break for 2 minutes and be back with the fourth quarter of this second quarterfinal of the 2019 Baggataway Cup. It's 9-4 Western over Nipissing. See you in 2 minutes. Welcome back, lacrosse friends, to the 2019 Baggataway Cup. It will be Nipissing possession as they held on to the ball at the end of the quarter. I thought for a moment that Braden Trace may actually just kind of fling the ball down the floor when he got a little ride pressure down the field. It looked like he was thinking about just icing it, basically. So obviously he did not, and he starts with it now at the other end as we've switched ends. Nice little move. Toe drag for one hand. What? Braden Trace putting on a bit of a clinic here. And then puts his goalie under some pressure, throwing it to Wood.
Yeah, so Western has a man up still, I think.
Yes, they do.
And so they're already running kind of a lock-off style ride, and now they really have the opportunity to lock off every single player because of the man up.
Right, and we talked earlier, remember, about we said, hey, when you're poised veteran, you recognize, hey, there's pressure here, there's a guy open. There's no guy open.
There's no guy open in this scenario.
Nope, not this time.
Sure enough, Nipissing managed to clear it with some leg power.
Great job. Great hustle. Nice play by Braden Trace. I've been very impressed with Braden Trace, the close defender from Elmville. And here goes Nipissing. We're a minute into the fourth quarter, and they're driving to try and get something going. Pelche started backing down his man. Western just kind of passes him off. Big collision. He goes through it. Hard twister goal.
Wow.
Pelche is just a superstar tonight.
Body.
Yeah.
Just, wow. Wow, he really was looking very strong on that dodge.
Yeah, I mean, I talked about how they were passing him off kind of one defender to the next, and then they left him a bit of space, and that let him get some momentum up. He just built a little inertia, and they could not knock him off the ball.
Yeah, maybe it was a little bit of a lack of communication on Western on the Western defensive side.
Yeah, you don't want to give him that space to get the 3 or 4 steps and have the momentum built up, but boy, 4 goals I think that is for Bo Pelche. I think he might have some little hardware coming after this game.
I think so.
I'm going to put my money down right now. Bo Pelche for player of the game for Nipissing. He's been outstanding. And I got Cody Ward for Western.
Yeah, I think so.
I think that's pretty easy. Ward has the ball right now. He'll lob it up to the top, and Cole Davis will slow it down a little bit. Picked up by Jack Drinkwalter, who's number 17, one of the few guys not wearing some tights. Not sure if I admire that or.
It's a tough guy thing.
The thing is, you can be a tough guy, but I don't think – I know that the cold doesn't do good things for your joints. And in terms of performance and recovery, you're generally better off to have, when it gets colder, to have your joints covered, have your knees.
I agree.
Yeah,
At this temperature, I don't know if it's wise.
Yeah.
But you do look cool.
Yeah, definitely. Simeone behind the net, taking his time. Oh, nice pass. Big hit. Holy cow. Quinn Harding just lowered the boom.
Leveled.
Yeah, Nick Ferris went flying through the air, landed in the crease. Pops back up. He's tough as nails.
Here's that Western ride. Pressure's on. Wins him the ball again.
Ward, skip pass. Nice pass to Julian Simeone. My goodness, Cody Ward is outstanding tonight.
Yeah, we mentioned it in the last game about how many opportunities come in those kind of broken situations off the ride in transition. And Western has really capitalized on a lot of those, it seems.
And the thing, with Western, they get the pressure on ball. Obviously, we talked about the off-ball pressure. It's not always a case of being right on the man. In that case, Western had guys just in the intermediate zones. Anywhere a player looked, he would see a purple jersey, and there wasn't any space to go past him.
You start to get that fear response a little bit as a player with the ball in that scenario.
Ball scooped up by John Gregg. Will Craig with the tap check. Nice job with the upward strip. But Western's going to get it back. Great job by Will Craig, but Western controls it. And John Kitt, nice outlet pass to Gregg, who just catches and quickly spins to get away from the player with the forecheck pressure. John Gregg's looking for the pole goal.
Everyone's trying to get a goal now.
Here comes Pelche. Passes it off to Craig. Oh, nice moves. Oh, the save, though. How did that not go in? I thought I saw that entering the net. Comes Skirving on the run for the Mustangs. Sprints into the offensive zone. Hands it off, and I thought he was going to go stay.
Yeah, I thought so too. For
make like China. I was at the Worlds in Israel last year, and China would have generally one long pole up on offense. Sometimes they'd have two go up. They'd set a guy at the top of the crease, and
sometimes they have the fastest shots on the team, the long poles, because of the extra torque you have.
And you couldn't stop the guy from getting a pass if he just holds the stick up. I mean, you hit him, and that's one thing. But I mean, if they're sturdy, interesting approach.
Unorthodox to say the least.
Julian Simeone coming on strong in the second half here, and he's going to dodge back X. Reverses. Oh, behind the back to his brother Tristan, from his brother Tristan. And the Simeone's putting on a bit of a show here.
It seems like they both dodge to pass, which is a really, really strong way to create opportunity for your teammates.
Well, it's so natural for defenses to pay attention to the dodger.
Yeah.
So somebody's coming open.
Exactly.
There's a twister. Stopped by Wood. Didn't know where the loose ball was. But Dominique passes it back, and what a play. And here comes Dominique. He's going to try and generate something. Ward watching him. Rips one to the middle of Pelche. He's got a man down on the crease. Opts not to use him. And Western's going to strip it. Boy, Pelche's been great, but I didn't like that decision.
No.
Nipissing does retain possession. Tanner Poole wants it up top. He's got it. 8:12 to go. It's 11-5 Western. I'm Stephen Stamp with Chris Mederi. This is the 2019 Baggataway Cup. Nice attempt through the middle. He can't quite connect, though, with Riley Sloan. And the pass goes out of bounds. A.J. Skirving will start with it for Western. Over to Nix. Up to Crowley. All kinds of space for these Western players.
There's another example of that experience on all ends of the field for Western, taking their time on this clear, looking for the space.
And Nipissing only had 5 guys up in the ride because Western has, is so dangerous in the transition that Nipissing is leaving an extra player back.
Yeah.
And that makes it tricky to try and get a lot of pressure on because, like we said, one guy was just wide open with all kinds of space. It seemed like wherever the ball was, there's an option to get the ball to. Interesting facet of how success in one aspect or acumen in one aspect of the game can influence others because that transition forces them to limit their ride.
Absolutely, yeah. It's what makes, or it's part of what makes lacrosse so interesting is that kind of subtle dance, that ebb and flow between patience and pressure. Always at hand, yeah. It's always a changing environment out here.
Long run across the top for Michael Byrne, taking a few whacks. Now he's going to the net. Just trying a little backhand roll shot. Oh, I think we got a penalty, yeah.
Both teams fired up about that call.
Yeah, Camo going to the box.
Man-up opportunity here for Western.
If you're Nipissing, you're thinking, oh, just what we need.
Yeah.
An extra purple person that's hard to cover. Cody Ward just sitting at the back door, staying out. He's going to creep in shortly. There he takes the pass, quickly returns. Here's Davis. Back to Ward. Sidearm pass. Ward's going to come in and rip one. That one's stopped by Wood. Nice hustle by Simeone to get back there to get possession. Cody Ward picked the ball up. Holds the stick up to show he's got it. So it was a 1-minute slash to Hayden Camo. Western still on that man up. 5:20 to go here in the fourth. Another shot goes wide, but Ward's there to pick it up on the backup. The penalty's released. Nipissing was hoping to take advantage. You can see they're trying to work their player coming off out of the box in, see if they could get it up to him. But that Western ride, again, made it just so hard for them to get the ball ahead. Mm-hmm. They weren't able to take advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the ball's loose. Yeah, that's a fair. Oh, okay. I was going to say a fairly clear possession. It is going to Western. I thought it was a fairly clear possession call with the Nipissing player grabbing on and spinning on the loose ball. Initial indication was it was going to Nipissing. A little disbelief on the face of Nick Ferris. then the call was corrected. And he's like, okay, there we go. This is Kevin Dong in behind the net from Oakville, Ontario. Jeremy Levy taking advantage of a 6-goal lead with about 4.5 to play, or 4:10 to go play right now, to get some of his players in for some playing time here at the Baggataway Cup.
Looks like Nipissing likes this matchup with the short stick there, locking off all of the defenders.
Yeah, well, you get the subs in, you make a play, right?
Yeah.
Dong handled himself pretty well. Comes across to Ferris.
Stall warning just came on. Andrew Wood getting in on some defense.
And it, to some effect, as the ball gets away from Dong and rolls out of play. Be really impressive if he gets in on the offense, goes up to the other end of the field.
This is Nipissing's first Baggataway Cup, right?
No, they came last year.
Oh, they came last year.
Remember we were saying they beat Queens, but didn't have
right.
Scott Dominey, so that was tough. They played Brock in the first game, the 2 seed from the West.
Mm-hmm.
Brock handled that game pretty handily. But this is a huge stride. I mean, Nipissing is making big strides every year under Jason Rudge and the staff. You know, they're really putting some work in, and it's paying off because this is a much more competitive game. And, I mean, they've got Scott Dominey, but Western's done a good job taking him away, but other guys, Pelche and others, have really stepped up. And, you know, I mean, this is certainly not an embarrassment for Nipissing.
Not at all. I mean, for anyone, 11-5 is a
to the 3-time defending champions.
Yeah, plenty close game, like for lacrosse especially. Looks like we have a penalty coming up.
Yeah, it's been a delayed call coming for quite a while. I think the ref actually starting to get the blood flowing out of his arm, and he starting to rue his. Oh, the flag is down. He has dropped it. So he was holding it. He was doing the pending penalty for a while. Then decided he had enough of that. Here's Davis. Nice split dodge. The shot and the save by Wood. Man comes flying into his crease. Oh, I hope he's okay. It looks like Davis went down hard.
Yeah, Davis is getting hassled pretty much all the way through that shot, even until after the whistle.
Into the final 2 minutes, which is stop time. Western still up 11-5. Cody Ward hanging on to the ball. Cole Davis over to Ferris. Oh, Cole Davis. Ooh. Nothing dodging there. Just a straight up step and rip. Wow. I'm trying to think of how many times I've seen Cole Davis score a goal like that. I'm so used to him scoring on the run, scoring off the dodge, scoring off the footwork and the elusiveness. And you don't see him just rear back and let it go, and he did there. That was
was just time and room from 15 yards. I think every midfielder ever practiced that.
Yeah. You're surprised when you get it, though, right? It's not often that it just kind of opens up just the way things fell. It's true. He just had that kind of room. And I think part of it is Nipissing's not really expecting that from him. per se, right? I mean, you got Ward and Ferris and Simeone are kind of your shooters from that kind of position. And Davis, you're expecting a bit more of a dodge, and he just said, "You're gonna give me this room, I'll take it."
Yeah.
What's that? 3 or 4 for Davis in this game? That's
I don't know.
4, right? Because he had the 2
so.
on the run, and then the other was the pass.
That's right. That's
so
right.
So at least
4
3
points,
goals and
3
an
goals,
assist.
Yeah.
Great game.
Yeah.
Will Craig under the watch of AJ Skirving.
Again, we're in stop time now. Final moments of the game. Probably under a minute.
Yeah, and Western looking very much like they're going to advance to the semifinals tomorrow, where they will play McGill. They have been McGill's nemesis.
Oh, since before I was there. Oh my gosh, that was,
That should be quite a game. There are some great games in the history of the rivalry between these franchises.
Oh yeah.
These schools, and I'm looking forward to that one. That'll be the 1 o'clock game live here on the Stretch Internet portal for McGill Athletics. And before that, 11 o'clock, we will have the Trent Excalibur facing the Brock Badgers in the first semifinal, which a rematch of last year's semi as well.
Yeah, both games should be great. I mean, speaking from experience, McGill against Western, it is always fast. It's always a bunch of passionate players. It's always very physical. It should be a very, very fun game to watch for those of you tuning in.
So, again, 11 o'clock, Trent versus Brock. 1 o'clock, Western versus McGill. That'll do it. Tonight, the final score 12-5 for Western over Nipissing. The players of the game in this game for Western, no surprise, number 14, Cody Ward.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
Dynamite.
The
Dynamite
goals,
today.
the assists, the ground balls, just amazing effort by Cody Ward. And on the other side, stepping up big time, Bo Pelche.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think those were the 2 obvious standouts.
Yeah, it was pretty clear. A lot of times it's a tough choice. I mean, Cole Davis was very good. There were players that played well, but they were obvious for me as well. So that'll wrap things up on behalf of Chris Maderi and everyone from McGill University. I'm Stephen Stamp. This is Baggataway Cup 2019. Thanks so much to Cross Friends for being with us. See you tomorrow at 11 a.m.
Thanks, Stephen.